Yeah, that's right. I see the chat. I see y'all rocking. I see y'all coming. Hit that like button as you enter the building. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Show your love. Show your support. You know what I'm saying? This that dope soul. This that new thing. Nobody don't know about it.
Salute, Knicks family, and welcome to another edition of Just Knickin It show. Knicks family, man, we're all excited. You know, if you made it back home from partying out in the city, hopefully you logging in and listening to this show, because I know some of y'all are still out there on 34th Street over there by Madison Square Garden, and I can't blame you guys. So welcome to another edition. Last night was, well, first of all, shout out to Geoff Klafter, the Happily Ever Klafter blog, Nick Nation. Salute to you, Nick Nation. And I am Jerrell, Diehard Giants podcast. So make sure you check them out. And, this is the Dope Soul family. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Knicks Nation. Welcome to all of you guys. I know everybody's excited. And we're just going to talk about what it is that we witnessed last night. I don't even understand. It's like it's a day later, like almost 24 hours later, and you still processing like how was that even possible, right? So I didn't get to rewatch the game, but I did. I kind of watched it, but I had to fast forward a lot of it, because I didn't have enough time before the show. So fellas, talk to me, man. How'd you guys feel last night, man? How'd you guys feel last night when this thing was happening, like that moment? Geoff, talk to me, man.
Well, I think I felt every emotion in the spectrum at some point during last night, because we had church services. So I didn't even get home until we were down 25. Like I turned on the game. We were literally down by 25 points. And I was like, oh man, my worst nightmare. And it's like, how in the world are we down by 25 points? And then I looked, and the Spurs were shooting 900% from the field and 10,000% from three on like 40 attempts. And I'm like, whoo. But then in the back of my mind, what I always look at when there's a score discrepancy, I always look at the shooting percentages, right? Because if a team is like, go just on a bender where they're shooting 70% for a half, usually they'll come back down to earth a little bit. So, that's usually one of the gauges where if it's, recoverable or not, or, because sometimes you're just playing terrible and like there's not any real reason for it. But really the crux of the problem was, we were giving them everything they wanted on offense, admittedly, from what I've seen since then. But again, they were shooting at a torrid pace, and the question was, would the Knicks? The Knicks were down by so much. Would they be able to would they be able to come back when the Spurs came back down to earth? And the other worry is, for me, is that when they get off to that hot start, our free throw is going to carry them when they cool off, right? Because that's the other thing too. If they cool off, but then they're able to get to the charity stripe a bunch, then that can negate that hot shooting, the drop off. And so we really, a lot of complaints about the whistle, but from a free throw perspective, we really benefited last night. We really got, we shot a lot more at the line than they did. But again, I think that's a reflection of the way that the game was played. I thought there were a lot more fouls that could have been called that weren't. Right. But I don't really want to focus on that so much, because I don't think it's overly relevant. But, I think the point when I started to believe that they could actually happen is when Towns hit that three when he rolled under the bench in the fourth quarter. Then I was kind of like, oh, wait a minute. The switch might have been flipped. We might be watching something historic. And then it kept going and it kept going. And then Josh Hart smoked that layup, and I fell out of my chair, literally, like in despair. I was like, how on earth could you, like, I coached middle school basketball and my whole team could make that shot. You know what I mean? How do you blow that, man, in the biggest game of your life? And, and they, like this team has done all year long, they found a way to get it done anyway. Yeah. And that's incredible. I'm sorry, I'm taking up a lot of time. I was trying not to do that because I actually got to talk about the game on air earlier. So let's get to Jerrell and Nick Nation. I really want to hear.
We're good, man. Listen, we got time, and yeah. So Josh Hart, he really tried to blow the game a couple of times. Like he smoked that layup. He missed like an obvious rebound that he really should get. Like this is a Josh Hart rebound, but he seemed lost, like totally lost in the sauce. Like he was ball watching. Like it was like. And then Geoff, not to mention, we even when they were missing shots, we weren't necessarily capitalizing on a lot of those misses because we had a lot of empty trips.
100. I absolutely agree with that.
And I'm like, oh my
God. Especially in the third quarter.
In the third quarter, it's like we're not really helping ourselves. I mean, these guys they're giving us an opportunity to get back in the game, and we're not taking it. We throwing all kind of blunders and all kind of stuff going on. And listen, it was unbelievable. But Jerrell, come on, man. Let me know how you feeling, man.
Well, obviously it was a roller coaster of emotions, like up and down, especially in the third quarter when we was actually starting to have the comeback rolling. I know everybody was pissed in the first half. A comeback wasn't likely, but I'm just one of those type of people that, never say it's over until the clock hits 0. And that doesn't mean I thought we was going to win the game, but for me, especially with this team, how resilient they are is always a chance. As long as everybody's healthy still, I always think we got a chance in a game. Like you got to think about what happened in that game. Like no firepower from Deuce, none from Shannon, none from Bridges really. All of them had bad games. Cat didn't score that much, and we still came back and won that game. Yeah. Like that means multiple other people were keys to the game that weren't even playing that much, like Alvarado. Clarkson came in, he didn't play that many minutes, but he still got a bucket. He got, he's had to sit back down. But Alvarado in the fourth quarter of that game is what movies are made out of, man. Kid out of Brooklyn. He up there put another kid in straight out of Brooklyn in the torture chamber in the key with the spinner Rooney he did. Yeah, man. It's
definitely like the Rudy the movie, bro.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like look at Alvarado, man. Little Alvarado came out there and gave us like 10 minutes in the fourth quarter and killed it. So if you're gonna have somebody like that step up, hopefully to a journey to a championship, like that's what 30 for 30s are made out of. Like that was, that was it. But now, the type of person that I am, I'm on to the next one. Like I need one more. I don't even think about the game anymore. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of historical things happening in that game, especially with OG Anunoby, or Gugwa. I need to start calling him by his real name. Like forget the adjective.
Anunoby.
You know what I'm saying? We need to start calling him by his real name. But like I'm over that now. Like I'm on to the next one. I can't wait until Saturday. I'm ready. I think we can win.
Yeah, that's funny, right? He's sitting at the podium. He's like, everybody's excited. I'm excited. I'm like, OG, really? Are you really excited? Like he's really like he's got that dead serious face on.
I guess maybe that's why I like him because to be honest, I kind of love the fact that I know how fans can get, right? All of us are fanatics. But just the type of person I am personally, I love the fact that this team is more my personality when it comes to stuff like that. Like they don't think the moment is too big. Everything is 0-0. Everything is in dire need. All games are supposed to be winnable games for us. Every game is a must-have game. We were supposed to win the last game, but you know how the refs get, and I'm not one of those type of people that talk about the refs a lot because they was killing us in this game too, and we end up winning. But yeah, it's just us against the world right now.
I mean, Jerrell, when and you're right, in Nick Nation, I'm going to come to you, but when you look at the box score, so you had Jalen Brunson 36 points, OG Anunoby 33, Cat had a measly 13 points, and everybody else was single digits.
Yeah, man.
Everybody, Josh Hart 6 points, Mikal Bridges 7 points, Mitch, of course, only had 2 points. But Alvarado had 8 points. It's just like, how did we win this game? Like, it's almost like at first glance, mathematically, it doesn't make sense that you'd win a game like this, right? Especially in the finals. But
we've been here before, though. Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Not saying we've been 29, but 22. Come back against Boston a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like, we've been here before. This team has been here before. Like, there's no situation. We did something that has never happened before. So there's no situation that we haven't been in yet, except for actually winning.
Yeah.
That's the only step left.
Nick Nation, what do you say, man? Talk to me.
You already know my fandom was crazy.
Oh, he was all over.
Yeah, you know that. You guys know out there in the world, we're in a group text together, and yeah, I'm going crazy. My messages are insane.
Yep.
They're at the highest level of fandom. You know, I'm that person that you definitely don't want to sit next to. What's name right there? Because listen, the elbows are flying. God damn it! Did you see that over there? I'm grabbing and my emotions. I'm walking around. I don't really sit down. I'm walking around. I'm pacing. I'm running up to the TV. I'm yelling at them. I'm yelling at the officials. I'm yelling at the players. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm always screaming at Hart, what the hell are you doing? God, oh my God, this guy is killing me, you know? So my fandom was all over the place. But hey, at the end of the day, those boys brought it home. You know, those boys didn't quit. They were down. I mean, they could have hung their heads and said, yeah, you know what? We're going to grind this out. You know, good look. But, hey, we'll shut this down and over to game 5. They didn't do that.
Yeah.
They counted every minute, every moment. And, you know, and it was regardless of how a lot of our players really didn't play well, it was still really so much of a team effort.
Absolutely.
Even at the last moment of that last play, because Hart kind of, in ways, he blew that coverage. On that last second, they would have had that. Had Karl Anthony Towns not tipped that ball, it would have caught the rhythm of Castle, and Castle may have dunked that. Yep. So, you know what I mean? So the total team effort of him getting his hand on that ball, which delayed everything, which then gave Josh Hart just enough heartbeat of a second to then get there and face Castle and at least, you know, get his hands up. Because the officiating, let's be honest, the officiating never saw the tip, because if they saw the tip, by the time that ball actually hit Castle's hand, it would have been over. Game would have been over. And we know they would not have gone back and given us anything, because the league has played in our face. So, you know, during the game, things like that, you know, come up. I go crazy over that because, as you guys know, I was sitting there waiting on that Mitchell Robinson call to say, okay, now, is this a flagrant? When the league itself is going to reevaluate and look at that on tape and tell us that, hey, what he did to Brunson is not a flagrant. Let's go back and the one what he did to Alvarado, 2 games back to back. I have my respect factor went down crashing for Wemby, crashing hard for Wemby. He will be a talented player, maybe what's name is, but right now, as I see him as a young, dirty, you know, foreign player, period, point blank. You know, that karma came, you know, sometimes karma is instant, and that karma came back to him instantly.
But think about this, Nick Nation. Think about this. If they had called retroactively the thing against Brunson a tech, which they should have, he would be suspended for game 5 because he picked up a technical foul in game 4. So that would have been, he has 3. If he picks up another one anywhere along the way, that's a suspension. I mean, and so that's actually a legitimate gripe and complaint, in my opinion, because 1, there's no way that's not a technical foul. 2, there's no way the NBA isn't calculating this and knowing there's no way I'm sitting the Spurs' best player for a game in the finals. Like, they're just not going to do that. They want this game. They want this series extended to 7 games. And I don't blame them. It's a lot of money every time they get back on the court, right? They have a vested interest in that.
Now, I'm still going to blame them.
Well, but what I'm saying is this. I think if the Knicks were down 2-1 or 3-1, I think we might see the opposite, is what I'm saying, just because they want the series extended. And maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't think it's an inherently Knick bias. I think it's what the league does in any final series. that's kind of getting close is they kind of want it to counterbalance because they always want those extra eyes and that extra TV. And especially in this series, which is breaking like every record for number of spectators. I mean, it's got to be the biggest cash cow the league has ever seen in terms of an NBA Finals. I bet they've made more money on this Knicks Spurs series than they have in probably the last 2 or 3 finals combined, and maybe getting back more than that. I don't know how that revenue stuff works, but that's just a guess on my part.
Oh no, I agree, because the bigger thing of it is, there's always politics to everything. And the league is definitely trying to grow worldwide. They're definitely trying to expand themselves. Them and the NFL, they're both doing it. You know what I mean? By playing games over there, all of a sudden now the NFL will have multiple more games over there. It's almost like they have an NFL season for particularly them. The NBA is, implementing and doing a lot of the same stuff. Let's look at us, our first games, right? We was on Emirates, blah, 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 and all that other stuff. So it's a growth because, too, you have a product that is from overseas. So Wemby being who he is, yeah, they're going to what's name that money. But to me, it's hedge your bets. Will I piss off the fan base that's here that I automatically know that will probably come back regardless, or build across seas and extend another larger base and say, hey, you know what I mean? Let's just make it for what it is. Money is money. I get it. I get what you're saying, but I also get that the Knicks haven't had a championship in 53 years. So all of that, to me, throw all of that out the window. And where is the leaning toward the fan who has been there, you know what I mean, forever?
But
you know what I mean?
So knows that we're going to be there no matter what. We're insane. We're diehards. They don't have to do anything. It's like Satan for the unsaved. He don't have to do anything. He already got you in his back pocket. He don't have to worry about you.
We get it, but not that we're gonna like that, because ain't none of us gonna like that in that sense. So I'm always going to be against that kind of nonsense because, because certain people, I mean, if certain amount of years you invest into it, you like to see it to the point of a purest of the form. But when you pull when you begin to pull that curtain back and see the Wiz for what he is, it's like, are you kidding me? Like, is this what we're really doing? It's disgusting.
You know what problem I have with that though, guys? Like, how come when the Knicks have the inferior team? Like in '99, I didn't see him try to extend the series by giving us calls. We got swept. What happened to all that? What happened to all that politics nonsense? Yeah, how come they don't do it when we're losing? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. This is what it seems like. Maybe they didn't do that back in '99. Maybe it wasn't as much money involved, but I think it always was.
But gambling's involved so much more now than it was in '99. Half of the revenue comes from
in '99. I didn't even think they had legal gambling back in
'99. Right. That's what I'm saying is that it's a completely different animal than it was in 1999. And Adam Silver and David Stern always liked the small market storylines anyway. Little town beats big. The big metroplex was always a narrative that they cared about, but now they're in bed with the sports books, and I think that has a lot to do with what you're saying. It's not so much what's good for the game necessarily as what's good for the bookies and what's good for their wagering partners.
I mean, to me, that's crazy. How is Knicks winning not good for the game? Like, this is, I feel like the whole country is in a good mood, with all the stuff going on outside of the sports world. Like, I feel like everybody's happy.
Yeah, it puts to me, it just puts a shadow. Let's look at the beginning of the season. We had Chauncey Billups and a few other guys getting arrested. We had, officiators who have gotten arrested for it. The FBI stepping in, trying to build these cases. Some of these cases are, maybe weak. Some of them may be good. But the bottom line is you are fulfilling everybody's shadow of a doubt that this has now become the WWE or something. When you play in our face like that, if a technical foul is where you physically don't make a basketball play, and particularly above the shoulders. So for you to grab a man's head and straight mush him dead at the top of the key, openly in front of everybody, in front of basically the NBA world, and then turn around and say, yeah, we looked at it, that we're not going to give him a technical. To me, you hold no credence or anything to yourself at all. And moving forward, period, point blank. If you can't make those corrections, and I'll give it to you, if you did happen to miss it in real time, you sitting at now a video playback and watching it in slow motion in every angle. And then all of a sudden now you're going to say, well, no, that's not. What are we doing? What are we doing? Things like that. It makes you have no confidence in the league at all.
You know what though, Nick Nation? Like in today's world, like everybody's memory is literally like everybody's attention spans like 5 seconds. I guarantee you by next week, nobody's gonna remember that. Like we remember it because we're fans of we're Knicks fans, right? And this like really bothered us. But the rest of the world, they're not gonna remember this. They're not gonna remember all those bad calls. You know, we remember those things, but they don't. Nobody does.
Or if they do remember it, they're going to be happy we got them.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's what it really is. They're probably going to remember.
Yeah.
They're just not going to care.
They're not going to care. You know.
I am curious though. If this was the Washington Wizards on this run instead of the New York Knicks, would the national media narrative look different?
100%.
Absolutely. The hate for us is real.
I mean, there are two extremes there. You know, you got to remember the hate for us is real. By the same token, the Knicks are probably the most valuable, if not the most, probably the second most valuable franchise. Maybe Golden State Warriors at some point was.
The Lakers are pretty.
I mean,
definitely up there.
Definitely Lakers.
I mean, even when they're not playing well, the Lakers are very valuable franchise.
But you know what, Geoff? This season, though, the Knicks have proven to be one of the most popular franchises because I think we're like the only team who, on the road, like there are many cities where Knicks fans, you know, the Knicks play, and then there's a lot of Knicks fans, and I'm talking many cities. Like you go to Denver. All right, you got clusters of Knicks fans, like nice contingencies of Knicks fans over there. Now, I mean, forget the whole Eastern Seaboard is like that. So I'm not even. I'm talking about like in the middle of the country.
But Denver is a good example because they're a competitive team. I mean, they've got a team that's a solid playoff team, and we went in there in the Pepsi Center or whatever they call it nowadays. It sounded like a Knick home game. Yeah, that's crazy.
That is insane. Listen, and I mean, needless to say, I actually went to a game, to a Wizards game. You know, at the Wizards, the Knicks games, but they were playing over in outside of DC. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're probably looking at 70, 30, 70% Knicks fan, 30%. I mean, you have to really look for Wizards gear, like merch. Like you had to really look for it, and they were giving them out. They were giving them out. You still had to look for them, you know. So it was unbelievable. So which is, to me, it's crazy because the Knicks are a very popular franchise. So why would you not want that popular franchise? It's only been 53 years, man. I mean, give us a break.
Well, maybe. Well, even if they did want us to win, it just won't be fast.
But Jerrell, I don't want them. I don't want them to want anybody to win. I just want them to let the chips fall where they may. Let them play the game. Let the best team win. I don't really want the NBA to want the Knicks to win. Do you know what I'm saying? Just call it fair. That's it. That's all we're asking. You know, and even yesterday's games, like you know, the foul calls were not as egregious as the previous games, but they still had some crazy calls. You know, the goaltending calls on Luke Cornett. I mean, that ball was like, it was clearly on the way down. And
they thought it was alley-oop to Mitch.
Yeah, they thought it was alley-oop. I mean, really, you know, and that goaltending on Wembanyama, that thing was clearly still above the cylinder, and you know, so you had some of these crazy calls that still didn't go off.
How much faith do you have in guys if that's supposed to be these officials right here that are in this are supposed to be the best of the best?
Yeah.
So how much confidence did you have? And now think about a regular season or whatever else it may be. If this is the best of the best, it's a clown show.
Yeah. But you know what? Anyway, we're here now. We're up 3-1. Jeff, I know you had the show this morning, but I really want to get a feel for like not just you. I'm sure you have more you want to say from what you said this morning, Nick Nation and Jerrell, like on the players, right? Uh, I mean, yesterday, man. So who gets the game ball? I mean, I listen. OG was unbelievable, but so was Jalen Brunson.
Yes, he was. OG
So
was so
you can make a
unbelievable.
case. You can make a case for Jose with his 8 points. Jose Alvarado like changed the whole complexion of that game.
He did.
So you can make a case for any one of those guys to get the game ball.
Did we give the game ball to Mike Brown? Then?
Oh, you could give the game ball to Mike Brown for him to realize. Listen, let me put 2 small guards in there. Let me put an additional ball handler in there to free and to confuse the Spurs to free this thing up.
Hey man, when you're losing by almost 30 points at half, sometimes you just gotta throw something at the wall and make it stick.
He sure did.
That's what that happened. Like they didn't play together. Him and Jalen didn't play together like all season, right? Not 1 minute.
I feel like I've seen them together, like spare
Who,
like,
him and Brunson? They played together. They
like,
played together.
like spare minutes, like
Not
here
a
and
lot
there.
of minutes. It's
Not a lot.
small
Not a lot,
sample
but they
size.
played together.
Yeah,
And
spray-
definitely not in the playoffs, right?
no, not in the playoffs. Not they
trying to
have
think,
done
has
that.
it
He
been
has
in the
done that in the
playoffs?
playoffs. Nope.
Yeah, if it hasn't been in the playoffs, this game 4 of the finals.
It has not happened in the playoffs because there has not been. Think about it, Nick. There hasn't been any need for it.
Yeah,
For
that
him
was
to
a
try anything different.
that was
No, I
definitely
thought
a
in
fair
Atlanta Hawks.
football.
I thought in Atlanta Hawks series he did. Because
I don't
remember, they were the ones also approaching us and guarding us from the point of 90 feet up.
Could've
And I
been.
thought
I
we
don't
struggled at
remember.
one point. And I thought 1 point for a little bit that he brought in Brado and those two together. I could be wrong though.
But I know it definitely happened in the regular season a couple of times. But I mean, shout out to Mike Brown because we weren't getting anything from Deuce at all.
Right.
Like no ball handling, no great defense. He was bricking all over the place. And I mean, how does Mike Brown? He out of the blue, he pull it right out the hat and he said, "Let me put Jose in there," and then it worked.
And not just that, even before that, when Cat went out early, Mitch was gassed. He put Porter in.
Mm-hmm.
Then they took him out, put Shohan in a little bit.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you gotta throw stuff at the wall,
Yeah,
man.
and listen, on
12,
during
right? 12 players
the
we played,
broadcast,
right?
they mentioned that he played 12 guys. 12 guys touched the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, shout out to Mike Brown for doing that. So, but who Nick Nation, who'd you give the game ball to?
I got to give it to OG because he was just so steady. OG was stellar on defense and just be surplus solid or I don't even know what to call it, but he was unbelievable as far as on offense. You know what I mean? Just look at it. OG, I don't care you're 7'5". I don't care you're 8 foot. Here, take this 3-point in your face. I don't care you what's name. I'm still gonna dunk on you. You know what I mean? Like still, I'm gonna take these couple of step backs. Bow, 3-pointers. You know what I mean? Like he came in and said to them, y'all guys could talk all y'all want. I'm a grown man. Y'all are still young, and I'm gonna show you what a grown man does. And he put belt to ass through the whole night. OG from beginning of the game. Let's look at the most. Well, first of all, I believe his average was better. I think he had the best average. So, but then let's look at also on the other side, what he's asked to do and things like that. And especially in the second half, he guarded Speedy there for the most part. You know what I mean? And that's a difficult. Even though he was off, like Fox was off a bit in certain senses. But, you know what I mean? That's a tough cover. And in the last, I don't think Fox scored. I think he, you know what I mean? I don't think he scored at all. I think he was donut for for the fourth quarter. So
no, he had a 3.
Did he hit a 3 in the fourth?
But I think that was it though.
That was it, right?
He did have a 3 though.
And OG was mostly his assignment. You know what I mean? Doing it on both ends.
Game 3 though, I don't want to say he had his way with OG, but he played well with OG on him. Yeah. Matter of fact, when we were like, I don't know, I don't want to say the go ahead bucket, but it might have been that made it 4 points. It was right. It was OG on De'Aaron Fox. Like he put that little midi,
Yep,
and dropped it in there. So, um, hey man, OG learned his lesson. But before I get to you, Jerrell and Geoff, it is amazing to me that the San Antonio Spurs played that entire game and did realize that OG was killing them. Like, no, like really think about it, because first of all, even if you see Brunson took that last shot, and I'm perfectly fine with that shot, because I'm like, you know what, with 6.2 seconds left, whatever it was, to me, it was not a terrible shot, because there was not a lot of time to do anything else. But however, there was one play that he still had time for. I don't know if you guys noticed. After OG inbound the ball, he was wide open for a three.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was.
If he was,
wide open.
Back to him,
He was wide open.
He was so that's another. So he was wide open.
Guarded him. That's why he was able to get the offensive rebound.
Which is
Jalen could have swung it back. Yeah.
He was literally the other guy killing you all night, and he was wide open, not just for the 3-point shot, but also.
But you know why that is, though, right? You know why that is?
Double.
Because he's a silent assassin. He doesn't get like overly hyped. He doesn't say anything. He's not talking back to the player. You know what I mean? He's not doing any controversial thing. He just simply boom, hits the shot. He goes back down, sits and plays defense. No, you know what I mean? No in your face, no hype of this, no jumping around, no this, that. That's not what OG does. He's full business all the time. All the time. Makes him a great player.
That's why when he does not have a good game, you take it with a grain of salt, man. Because when he's on a roll, he's on a roll. Like, and I guarantee you guys that play, I bet you Mike Brown drew 2 plays. One is that 3-pointer. The other one is get a ball back to OG if he's open for him to take that 3-point, because he was like he was going to hit that 3-pointer. Like, he was wide open. There was nobody near him. So it kind of surprised me, man. So Geoff, who'd you give the game ball to?
Oh, it's Anunoby, unequivocally. Like, it's not even close. And we haven't even talked about the play that was almost as important as the tip, and that was the block on Fox.
The block on Fox.
On the other end. That was incredible.
Yep.
Like, Fox thought he was free and in the clear, and not only does he block the shot, but the Knicks get possession, and that's what sets up that whole sequence to begin with. And and then you put in the game winner besides, and you shoot 7 of 9 from 3. I mean, look, basketball is a game about matchups. It's all about matchups. And we thought, well, this isn't a Brunson series. Brunson played great, but it's not near necessarily a Brunson series because of all their length and everything else. And he's figuring it out a little better, but his efficiency's not there. With Wemby on the floor, maybe not a Cat series, right? Because Wemby's defensive player of the year. Towns is doing a good job, just like Brunson, doing the best he can. But then, so if you're going to cover Towns like you're covering him and you're going to cover Brunson, who does that leave to cover Anunoby? You're talking Devin Vassell or one of those guards, and they're all too small for him. If you put Wemby on him, which they've done at times, he's shown that he can blow by him if he needs to, or he just does the step back and launch the three, and he's been good on that shot too. But the point of the matter is that the Spurs' weakness in the last series, even when I saw it, was the 4 spot, right? And Anunoby is better than any 4 that the Oklahoma City Thunder can put on the floor. No apologies to Chet Holmgren. It's not close how much better OG is on both sides of the ball, in my opinion. And maybe that's me being a homer, but I admit anti-Chet bias. I'm not a big Chet Holmgren fan. I will admit to that. But to me, his physicality, the way that he can bully people, that's what makes him so dangerous. That's why he gets so much space. They're worried to death that he's just going to charge in there and get a dunk. Why? Because he's dunked on Wemby like 4 times in this series, right? Like he literally can get wherever he wants because they don't have a natural answer to guard him one-on-one, and they can't afford the resources to guard him any other way because you've still got a Towns and a Brunson out there. Right? So you literally have to live with OG giving you 33.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Shot 70%, basically, right?
Yeah.
You know how good Jalen Brunson is? Geoff just said that it's not a series for him, and I agree with him. He had 36, 7, and 5 yesterday,
36, 7, and 5.
Yep.
but it's not a Jalen Brunson series because of their length.
Yep.
That's how it's almost like it's normal when we have games like this. Like it's not extraordinary anymore, which is maybe a shame, maybe taking them for granted a little bit. But Geoff is right. Like I don't think it's a series for him either. Somebody else has to step up, maybe multiple people every game.
Yeah,
But 36, 5, and 7, man, like look at what we talking about here.
The first couple of games, couple of games, Cat stepped in. But I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, maybe it's probably the efficiency, which wasn't terrible. I think he shot 48%.
Yeah, it was
the best of the series though. Like that was the
Yeah.
first time he was pretty decent as far as efficiency.
It wasn't bad at all.
The whole series. So I mean, it's only been 4 games, but that's the reason why. I mean, the raw numbers are great, and again, I'm resigned to the fact that it's not going to be a high efficiency series for him. But I think because it's not a high efficiency series for him, you have to make up for that with efficiencies in other places. And that's kind of my point, is that OG has been the one who's consistently stepped up, been efficient, been dominant at times with his offensive game, and really not afraid of the moment, not afraid to take a lot of shots, and make a lot of shots.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, people complain about his shot selection or his volume. And this is one of those games, like the other guys weren't shooting the ball. Like the other guys were literally afraid to shoot the ball, and those who actually tried to shoot, they were ineffective. Deuce was donut. I think he was like 0 for 3, 0 for 4.
0 for 4. All of those
0 for 4, like he didn't hit anything. Mikal Bridges had a poor shooting night.
Josh was 0 for 3.
Josh Hart, Josh Hart had a couple of 3-pointers, but overall he didn't have a great shooting night. So this is one of those things, man. It's like, okay, it's like, OG, it's just me and you, baby. Let's just keep bombing.
Cat and Bridges played less than 30 minutes.
Well, I mean, Cat, they took him out within the first minute. So that's just the NBA. That's NBA strategy right there.
Yeah, he played 8 minutes in the first half. Cat did.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And I think that's part of the reason why our defense broke down so frequently, by the way. I think that those are tangentially linked. I think that it's underestimated the impact that Towns has on the other end of the floor and how well he's been playing defensively, in that he's been helping to keep players out of the paint and to not look. They got what shot they wanted because they were able to attack the paint and spray, which is the Knicks strategy, right? They were out Knicksing the Knicks, and then everybody was hitting 100% from 3, like even guys who were terrible 3-point shooters. In the second half, that script flipped completely, right? They weren't getting any open looks. The paint was locked down, and they shot a bunch of threes, but they were all difficult, highly contested threes. Not anything like the wide open looks they were getting in the first half. And the shot diet and selection flipped up on the other side of the court too. And a lot of that was Jose Alvarado. And what could Jose Alvarado do? Oh, he can catch it and get into the paint. And if you leave him open, well, he hit 2 out of 3 3-pointers. Not necessarily his forte, but you're gonna leave him out there, and then he's got to keep him honest, and he did. The second one, he needed a wing and a prayer and a wink. I think my mom tipped it in from heaven for him. I don't know, and I don't care. It still counts for 3 points. It's a swish in the box score, right? And so it's the quality of looks, how you're getting those looks, and what you're doing. A lot of times that affects your shooting percentage. If you're just shooting practice, which is what they had in the first half, you're going to shoot for a high percentage. It's Madison Square Garden. It's game 4 of the playoffs. You have a chance to tie the series. You're nobody around you. And then all of a sudden, when everybody's around you and the defense is tough, the defense is tight, they're not able to just drive and kick like they were. All of a sudden, everything got discombobulated. They had 30 points in the second half, y'all. 30 points, not in the quarter, in the half. 14 and 16.
That is crazy.
That is insane levels of defense.
In the finals game. But and Cat, in his limited minutes, he was very like extremely efficient, Jeff. And to your point, he didn't play a lot of minutes. Um, because well, I mean, he did play, but he was I think he was not as aggressive because of the foul situation. That it took a lot of management. That's why they had to put Huck Porty in there. They had to put Solhan in there. A lot of juggling, man. But going forward, man, I don't even know. Like, we have to fight. This guy's got to find a way to stay out of foul trouble. Even to stay away. Like, no, I don't even know how you stay in foul, because when there's no contact, they still call a foul. So I don't even.
What the most remarkable
that first foul was horrible.
That is to me, though, at Jay.
Second one was worse.
Yeah, but the most remarkable stat was that 3-pointer I referenced earlier was his first fourth quarter points of the entire series.
Yep.
Wow,
the whole series.
I did not know
the whole series. He hadn't scored in the fourth quarter until that bucket. That's crazy.
That's shocking.
That's stunning, but it's true. And so, yeah, Towns has been fantastic, but we can get more out of him. There's no question about that. And if we do, they are in trouble. Like, I'll just say that if we do, they're in trouble. And I think that Towns, I think you hit the nail on the head. He's been in foul trouble, so he hasn't been as aggressive. And I think what you saw in that fourth quarter was aggression. Like the play that Queen said on the group text where he got fouled 3 times, and then he put in that little
Yep.
I call it the Hartenstein floater, the little just teardrop looking shot. He did. He got hit like 3 or 4 times on that play with 0 call, still put it in. Oh, by the way, on that 3-pointer that he hit, he got his jersey completely tugged, practically out of his shorts, because they have to have him tucked in. Not a call on that either. So, I mean, like, I think you hit the nail on the head as far as the difference is the aggressiveness, but I think some of it is the way the game is being called is affecting how aggressive that he can play, because, he's got to be on the floor.
It took us out of rhythm 2 games in a row by immediately taking our starter, taking point, navigating one starter and saying, all right, we're going to rip him off, take him out the game right off the bat, giving us 2 fouls, giving our players 2 fouls within, what was Bridges? It was 9 minutes and change where they took, by the time they took Bridges off the fall, right, in the third game. And it was barely 9 minutes and 50-something seconds, right? Or was it 10 or 10-something or whatever it was? No, it had to be 10-something, right? Because it was 1 minute and 6 seconds, right? When they took the other guy, when they took Cat off the floor.
Something like that.
Yeah, we got to be better than that. And somehow we have to avoid that. I don't know how, but we got to create some magic, or maybe the league will just give us a break and say, all right, we'll get off their head for now. We've been on their head for 4 games.
You're just going to have to play through it and around it like we have been. We're not going to get a fair whistle. We're not. They're going to continue to do that. The only situation where I can see them stopping that is if we reach Game 7. Then it might be just. It might just get called the way it's called, because at that point there's no more extension of the series that's possible. There's not any league money at risk. But Ajay, do we want to get to the super chats? I think
we have a couple of comments we want to get to the super chat. So shout out to the Artman, formerly known as Steve, man. Hey, Artman. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat, man. How you feeling, brother? I know you're feeling good about this one. I don't know, maybe I don't know if Artman probably was up all night last night, man. In all the great,
probably drew a thing. Hopefully he drew the thing for OG. Drew the tip.
Share your OG drawing, man. In all the great comebacks the Knicks have done, teams fall in love with the threes in the first half. Knicks make the adjustment and pack the paint and test their gangster in the second half. One more win. And that's, you know what? That is a common thing, right? And is it is it the law of averages that when the team shoots so well in first half, in the second half they're gonna cool off? Like no teams ever go like really hot the entire game. Like they don't shoot 65% the whole game.
Unless you expected them to score 150 points.
Exactly. And then
they had to cool down a little bit.
And then the Knicks don't shoot well in the first half, and then the second half they pick it up. And when you look at the final stats, you're like, oh, okay, it was an average game. But it really
only when the Celtics did that to us in the first game of it's 2 seasons now. The first game in the remember that anticipated match when we got Cat and all that other stuff. They shot well first and second half. I remember that because we shot great too. Like we didn't shoot bad. They just shot out this world for the whole game. And remember, that was the game we lost. It was like, I think the score, right? It was a high score. I remember that. But they shot well first and second half. I couldn't believe it.
Well, game 7 of the Pacers series 3 years ago, when Jalen broke his hand, the Pacers shot like 70% for the entire game in a closeout game. I remember that.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad too. Yeah.
They
couldn't miss. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, they couldn't miss.
Another one from the Artman, formerly known as Steve. Brunson didn't want to use too much clock. Brunson didn't want to use too much clock once the double came, and Cat's man didn't go after OG and stayed home. He took the shot with enough time to rebound because Wemby was on the perimeter.
That's true, 100%. And nobody picked up Wemby. Nobody picked up OG at all. They doubled Brunson up at the top pretty much. I don't know if that was the plan or whatever, but they double teamed him and he just went straight to the cup. And to Dylan Harper's credit, Harper got a hand on that ball almost himself. Like he was right there with him.
Yep.
And it was a fantastic, like, don't underrate the difficulty of that shot. Like he did not just pick that up and slam it. He literally had the ball and he was in midair and he tips it in with the strength and the ball control on that shot. Was fantastic. And for that was the high degree of difficulty shot, and then he makes it look really easy.
You're doing it at full speed. You have a split second to get it right, and he didn't bank it in. It went straight in. It wasn't banked. It was crazy
part is if he would have missed, Cat was right there.
Cat was right there too.
But to me, the crazy part is there was no fist pump. There was none of this. It was like, okay, it went in. All right, boom. He was right back on business.
Yep, game wasn't over.
You know what I mean? Like he
did you see Towns? Did you see the video of Towns? He's got his hands up like, wait, guys, don't celebrate. We've still got 1.2 seconds to take care of. But did you notice when the reaction once they stopped him on that last possession? Hart was kind of pumping his fists, and Towns was super excited. They knew that they did something really, like, I think that was the most emotion that I've seen them display after a win. Probably this entire playoffs, and I don't think they're losing focus. I think they still have that mentality that we go in the next game 0-0, but at the same time they knew what a mountain they had just climbed, and sometimes it's okay to have a minute or two to say, hey, we did something pretty cool right there.
Joshua dodged the bullet. I think you had to lost that game. He was gonna pound
forever.
Him.
Haunts him forever.
They was gonna beat him up. They was gonna jump him in the locker room.
He owes OG dinner for his life.
For real.
For life. You owe OG dinner for life.
This was a big win. You can tell because Jalen was hugging people afterwards.
Yeah.
It was the first time he smiled all series. He's hugging his wife.
First time OG smiled. And they had to really.
Yep, OG smiled
out of him, man.
Yep.
Yeah. But Jeff, you know what? I think that was the plan. Because they figure with 6 and change left seconds, you blitz Brunson. There's not enough time for him to make a wise decision. You know what I think that was the thought process. And it's not a terrible strategy because you remember,
not at all.
Those two guys, you got those are huge. You got Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is not huge, but he's bigger than Brunson. And he's the secondary guy.
Yeah, what they did wasn't bad at all. We took that win.
Yeah.
Like
I'm going to be different. I think it was dumb because you can't leave the highest percentage guy, open. Like
But the
gonna double down.
probability of him
Nick Nation.
tipping that ball in is
Nick Nation,
really,
with
really low.
with 6 seconds left, you only had 6 seconds left. There was not enough time for them to run that set play to find OG. Like there's not this. It was not a bad defensive strategy, but
I don't know about that because I don't think to
well,
me at no time do you leave because like you said earlier, had he just thrown it back to him, he was wide open for a 3.
yeah,
You
but
can't leave the best shooter that hot in the game. The guy shot 70%. And what did he shoot from 3 in this? I don't even know what his percentage was from 3, but it was high as hell. You can't leave a player like that wide open at no times.
I think
I'm not doing that.
To be honest, I think they banked on Jalen taking the shot. They had to. They banked on that.
But they've seen the Knicks. Who amongst us here on the panel of we watch every Knick game thought that Jalen was going to pass the ball to OG Anunoby? I don't care how open he was he was not getting that. Brunson was taking that shot, and in my opinion, I would have been stunned if he gave that ball up.
Especially
would have been stunned. And by the way, I thought it was going in when it left his hand. Had a nice rotation on the shot. It was just short, and I think it may have been because he had to put a little more on it to get it over the outstretched arm. Maybe it was a little bit of fatigue. I don't know, because I think he did play 44 minutes, but it's a soft bounce. And
that combined with Wembanyama in front of him, and he was like maybe 4 foot outside the line. So,
yep.
And A-Train's asking exactly what we're discussing. Shout out to A-Train for always rocking with us, but I didn't have a problem with that shot. So it was
not the shot. It's not the shot we had a problem. I'm saying as far as their defensive assignment.
No, I got you.
Yeah, I don't think that was.
But Nick Nation, either way, I think both. Like, you're saying OG had the highest percentage, but the highest scoring guy was Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was hot too. So with 6 seconds left, I understand the strategy. You know what I'm saying? I understand what they try to do. So it's literally basically pick your poison. So they pick because they figure he's gonna take that last shot.
Yeah, but
and he did.
To me, my my rationality is Wemby is the defensive player of the year. I'm saying, hey, isolate mano a mano. What happens from there? I'm not doubling him. I'm saying to Wemby, if you're the defensive player of the year, then take him on. Everybody else, stay home and make sure we get that rebound.
I would have done the same thing. The only reason I think they didn't is because he hit almost that same shot when we yeah,
because that's his thing. His thing is to move to move right and shoot with his left hand. Yeah, that right elbow.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
He hit one in front of Wemby like not too long ago. Before that,
yeah,
it was like 101, 104 or something like that.
Yeah, but to me, I just think you live with that. I think you live with saying, "Yeah, that's my best," and if he beats him, it is what it is. If somebody else, like no, because then you also still leave a 7-footer on somebody who's 6'6", 6'7", tops, and open point for a rebound to put it back. Just as you said, Cat was right there about to, to commence onto it. So to me, I just thought that I thought it was smart for us to shoot early in the shot clock for sure. I just think that their defense, I wouldn't have went with that. That's just my feeling. So,
all right, I got another super chat from the art man, formerly known as Steve,
as Fred,
as Prince.
Does he know that he was used to be Fred?
Who knows? Yeah, the art man formerly known as Steve. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Even with Towns in foul trouble, he tipped the final possession. He sure did.
Yes, he did.
Like if you watch the game live, you probably don't even notice that, right? Which actually ran out the clock, but they gave the Spurs another chance. I mean, the clock just ran out, and Josh Hart played perfect defense just by standing there, not giving the refs any reason to call a foul. He just stood there with his hands up. He didn't jump. He
12
just
o'clock.
he just
And
crowded his
by the way,
face.
Mitchell Robinson got his left paw in there to just disrupt him.
Did he touch it too? Because I know.
I don't know if he
Mhm.
touched it, but he definitely had his hand in the cookie jar there to
He was in the
kind of
way.
make it difficult for him to catch.
Yeah.
I watched that replay again about 1,000,000 times already. That and the
Yeah.
tip in, and I didn't notice it probably the first 10 times I watched it, but I was like, hey, Mitch actually, not only did he deny Wembanyama, which was good, then when he saw where the ball was going, he knew they didn't have time to make a pass, so he went and he contested the catch on that pass once it came through. So
Which was excellent because he was on the right-hand side, because he took away him even thinking about that he could use his right hand or think about going toward his right. So if anything, he would have had to go up with his lefts and and use his left hand to even get it up, because Mitch was sitting right there waiting, like, not here. So it was definitely excellent on Mitch's part. And like I said, we got to definitely thank Towns, because as we were talking about earlier, had he not tipped that ball, Hart was not really in the right position. Hart fell for it. And that play, I watched that play too, because they talked about that play. It was the same play, I believe, Atlanta ran on the Spurs and beat them on one of the games or something like that, or did it to him at half and, was effective. And they took that same play and tried to use that exact same play, and Hart fell for it. But the tip is what slowed it and threw it off. Mm-hmm.
That tip gave him a little extra time to get in position, though, because by the time who's that, Devin Vassell caught it, and he fumbled it too a little bit.
Yeah,
and by the time Castle, I'm sorry, yes. Yeah. And then, but Josh Hart was like standing and hovering over him. But
y'all don't think
that's a team effort? Team effort, bro. Team effort.
You don't think they would have reviewed that?
Nah, for us, hell no. I think it would have been game over. They would have told us later in the 2-minute report that he did get that. Yeah.
Nah, the 2-minute report would have been like, nah, we good.
I think they would have reviewed it.
Oh, man,
because I can see if it was more time on the clock, but if he actually tipped the ball, which he did, the clock ran out before the ball even got to Castle. The ball, like, it was only a second and a half left.
Yeah,
the ball was in the air. It would have been, the clock would have hit 0 before it even got to Castle. They would have had to review that.
And
I can see if it was close. It wouldn't have been close.
Santa's real, and I got this bridge for you. And what? Come on, man! They haven't given us anything, bro. You think they would have gave us that for real? No, I got no faith in
it was too obvious.
Really?
Yeah,
man. You seen the other stuff that was obvious. What did they do? I didn't see that. I don't know what you're talking about. Nope, game's over. They'd have came up. They would have made a rule. They'd have made up a rule for us.
Well, at least we will never know.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen to that part. That part right there.
Shout out to just a couple of other comments. JJ, salute JJ. Alvarado changed the game. He sure did, man. He sure did. And he's very efficient. I think he only took 4 shots. He hit 3 of them. 2 threes in that spin cycle too.
Put him right in the washing machine.
Yep. And then he's definitely playing deep. Man, I like in what was that in the first half? He went after Wemby, like literally try to wrestle him to the ground, picked up his leg. I'm surprised they didn't call that a flagrant, by the way.
They
should have.
They should have. It was not a basketball play. It had nothing to do with the ball. He just tried to body slam him.
I
didn't get that one either. They gave us that one. I'll admit that. That was definitely a flagrant.
I'm surprised it wasn't. I think it was makeup for getting mushed. Game 2 or whatever.
Because honestly, the flagrant on Mitch could have been a flagrant too. He hit him right in the chin. They could have definitely could have been a flagrant too. He could have got kicked out of the game for that. We've seen it.
It would be weird how you would rate that, because what was the Castle didn't get a tech at all when he ran over Brunson, elbow up.
That wouldn't have anything to do with that though, at all. Like, I'm really shocked that they did that. It seemed like they did give us those. I thought both of them. I thought Mitch was going to get kicked out, and I definitely thought that Alvarado, that should have been a flagrant foul. He picked him up by his thigh.
Yeah,
Like, you gotta think about what we talk about, man. Like that was crazy. It wasn't a basketball play at all.
but you know he's short, so it's the bottom, like the thigh, but
Really?
close to the knee, like by like
He
as
hugged his
that
thigh.
low.
I don't know.
It
I
slid
seen
down
Melo.
like a cat
I
hole,
seen
yo.
Melo whip a guy off his feet and in his playoffs here. No technical foul. You know what I mean? So
That's
it's
true.
it's I don't know. You can't call it anymore. It's all over the place.
And Wemby talking trash. Tell Mitch, I'm in your head.
He sucked up right after that. He started sucking.
Yeah, but Mitch said, "Shit, I'm on your neck
It didn't matter.
with the elbow."
It's all right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I agree, but I'll tell you this: I fully agree with that elbow.
Fully agree.
I had no issue. I had no issue
Don't
with
mind
that
that,
one. I
bro.
had no issue with Alvarado picking up the thigh.
No, zero.
That's just like I wouldn't have cared if they would actually call them flagrants. I
Yeah,
was like, yeah, they earned them. Like that. It is what it is. Keep it moving. Like let's just keep
You'd have
playing.
cared if we lost by one, and that was the point that made us.
I don't think that way though, at all.
You should.
No, I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I should think how I think. Okay? I shouldn't think that way. Like I don't think that just because you like say you miss a free throw, anything could happen in a game. I don't
that's
think
true.
as one free throw would make you lose a game. I don't think that way at all. Like situations happen because of point differential and stuff like that. You do things differently if you're up by one compared to if you're up by three. You just go by situations.
Yeah, you go with the flow of the game. You know,
I think it's just us sick of already, the league treating him like a choir boy, where he's clearly not. Because even if you look at that play in the game where he just narrowly missed from breaking something on OG because he tried to jump and he tried to kick his leg into him, and he barely just missed him.
I saw it after the fact. I didn't see it during the game. I did not catch it during the game. To be honest. I saw like the video going around Twitter and stuff like that. That looked nasty. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it would have.
That was dirty.
Yeah, that would have been a career ending. Because if you get hit on the side like that, you're looking at close to a career ending injury. That is, you don't want to get your leg broken that way. You don't.
If his foot would have connected with his knee or his leg or something, he could have did real damage to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a dirty player. Shout out to Cardiac Knicks. I'll never say anything about OG's contract ever again.
That was a topic of discussion at one point.
That
was a topic of discussion at one point where he signed.
A hot topic.
Greg,
actually,
that's not funny.
When he signed that extension, they're like, what?
Yeah.
But Greg, that's not funny. That right there, that's in poor taste, Greg. That's in poor taste, Greg. Pop had a very, he had a. You can look. That guy had a severe stroke and things like that, and that's not funny. It's not.
Yeah, salute to Pop, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Wiz BKLA. Wiz, I don't know what's up with your boy, man. He ain't doing nothing out there, man.
Didn't even mention Deuce.
Just got our light taken away. Jake, come on, bro.
Didn't even mention Deuce in this little chat here.
And he's probably right, because that's when we're talking about the Knicks, the NBA, like how could the NBA not want the Knicks to win? He said two ideas could be true, right? The NBA is helping the Spurs, but don't mind if the Knicks win, because it's kind of like a win-win situation for them. If Spurs win, with the European market, the French, I don't know, international market, I guess it means something. This amazing guy, 6 foot. I've been 6 foot. What am I talking about? That's just his leg. That's just his leg is 6 foot.
True.
7'5", whatever he is. The guy's young, or if the Knicks win, so the NBA can't lose.
They really can't.
Yeah. What else we got? Guys, any Mike Brown, man. What do you guys say about Mike Brown? I mean, and I'm not just talking about yesterday. I'm talking about so far in the playoffs. Like, it's does he get credited? Does he get credit for the run we've been on, that winning streak? Does he get a lot of credit for that? Or, and obviously, in the Spurs series, Cat, the first couple of games, Cat was, unstoppable, and then all of a sudden, Cat kind of fades in the background. Albeit yesterday he was in foul trouble, but in my opinion, still had a good game. With his limited involvement in the game. But does Mike Brown get credit so far for getting us up to this point? Jerrell?
Well, from the standpoint of get the blame if we weren't at this point, I think it's only fair
Would he
to give
really?
him the credit.
No,
Oh,
but
100%.
I don't
If,
know.
you- if, if we
I don't
lost to
know.
the Hawks, he would have been the scapegoat for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yesterday,
100%.
if we had got blown out yesterday, I don't think anybody could say that was Mike Brown's fault.
But
Like,
you
we
just
didn't
said you're not talking about just yesterday.
Oh no, I know, but I'm saying overall. But like, if we picking the games, like yesterday, it wasn't Mike Brown's fault at all that we were getting blown up.
Well, I'll go quick because I'm about to go. But Mike Brown has outcoached every coach he's coached against this playoffs, including the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if the Spurs would have been coached properly, they would probably be up in this series. And I think by a wide margin.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think we haven't had a good game this whole series.
We haven't,
and we're up 3-1. Not one single game that we've had was a good game.
Yep.
Yeah.
We haven't put 4 quarters together in a game yet.
True.
And this is why you keep saying, Drill. It's like okay, you're gonna win this series because we haven't played that one good game. Like if game 5 is we play a good game, there's no they have no chance. Because we played
Spurs
terrible
have
games.
something to do with that, though. I don't think it's
Yeah.
just that we're, I
Probably.
think the Spurs are a really good basketball team, and they force you out of your best self, and you've just kind of sometimes got to, muck it up and get to the finish line, which is what we've done 3 out of 4 times. And I think that when you're playing against another elite team like this, I think that's just how it is. Like, I think we kind of got spoiled from the Hawks series and the Sixers series where we were legitimately just vastly superior in terms of on-court talent. And we could just, do what we did and just blow them out of the water. I know we came back from 30 points down in this one. So in that sense, in the second half, we kind of did, but we also had to take the bludgeoning in the first half to, where we only won by a single point. And so I just think that it's a great series. I think it's highly competitive. I think the Knicks are the first team since the Warriors in the 70s to win 2 finals games by a single point. That's pretty cool. I will agree with you that the Knicks haven't played a complete game or their best game, but I don't know if that's going to I don't know if it's going to rear its head in this series is my only thing. Is I think that if we win, whether it be in game 5, game 6, or game 7, it's probably going to look a lot like it did in game 1, game 2, and game 4. And it's not going to be pretty, and it's not going to be, I hope I'm wrong. I would love for them to go in and just blow the doors off of the Spurs, wire to wire, 25-point win. That, sign me up for that. If that's an option, I'll pay the upcharge for it, whatever. If that's the option, right? But I just don't think that's what this series is. I think this series is just one of those things that it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be scrappy. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be fought in the trenches. And you got to out tough the other guy. And for the most part, I think we've done that.
Yeah, I only have you guys know my one characteristic issue with Mike Brown is not having the ability or not implementing the ability to scheme to get the ball past half court, which gets us into the function point of our offense. So that's why, to me, in all of these games, Mike Brown and them have not pinned together, practiced it through the year. We've gone through this for multiple years, where this has been the Achilles heel for us, is not getting to the point of our offense and struggling to get that ball past half. We keep doing it. Every point in time as we get that ball past half, it's boom, you're getting it past 17. Then all of a sudden, 2-3 dribbles, all of a sudden you're at 14 seconds before you're getting into your offense. You can't have a successful flow, not in the type of players that which we have, because we don't have those type of players. But what we have to do is just scheme just to get the ball past half. We are a half-court offense, but we're not getting past the half in an efficient time to run a functional offense where we can get multiple steps inside the paint and, spray out and maneuver. We're rushing shots. So by the time when we keep doing that, then all of a sudden Brunson, gets into his flow. Then all of a sudden we're at 7 seconds. Then all of a sudden you passing the ball off. You're getting the guy with a bye with 5 seconds. That red light all of a sudden starts going off, and that countdown in your head. And then, you know what I mean? They make a great defensive angle, a great defensive on, taking away something, and it begins to limit us. That I thought, if we can't get that right, I don't think that, like, it's pretty much like how you guys said, I don't think that we will win in a conventional way. It will just be a grinding effort, and we will have to somehow figure it out more on defense. And 2, we definitely got to play better defense. That is for sure. You can't go a whole full half. That team didn't have, if I remember correctly, they didn't have 1 turnover in the first half. So that means we got no additional points or no off anything of turnovers. We count on things like that. We need those things. We've got to play better defense. We've got to be closer into their pockets. We can't allow them to getting warm and then stay in the second half, or we're going to tighten things up, because sometimes you can't turn the faucet off, and you're the one who initially just allowed that faucet to run. We got to be better. I love that we won. I love that we came back, but there were major flaws across the board in which we need to clean up and be better. They will tell you that as players and coaches. It was a lot. When you really rewatch that game, you see that there were just bad possessions, bad communication. There were a lot of things that went wrong. We got to count on the league taking out a lot of times our players. Whoever's coming in, you got to understand what your assignment is. There has to be more cohesion. We were so out of rhythm for 3/4 of the game. We got to be better than that. We can't count on this team all of a sudden just going flat. This is the last, to close out. Closeout games are extremely hard. We've got to be better. We got to be on our A game. One of these games here, we need to be on our A game. And a lot of times, too, is when we go away, we tend to be better focused, I think, sometime now on the road as opposed to being home. Sounds wild, but to me, that's the way it's looking. So I'm hoping for Game 5. I don't care about coming back home to win. I just want it immediately. So I want this next game.
I'm with you on that one, man. Don't play with our food.
Completely agree.
Don't play with our food. But
all right, fellas, I'm out.
All right,
Peace out, bro.
Hanging out, man.
Where you going, man?
All right.
Man, don't be going and picking up no giant mugs and doing that. Nobody.
Hey, man, I'm not. You know what? Because of the Knicks, I'm not even thinking about football right now. I'm so focused on basketball right now. I'm not gonna lie. We doing training camp now. I don't care.
Mini camps. Yeah, your mini camps.
Yeah, they all the way in West Virginia. I ain't worried about them right now. We in the finals, man. Hopefully, I will
West
see
Virginia. Why did they go to West Virginia?
Because you got to think about all the stuff that's going on here with the World Cup, the finals. They don't want no distractions and stuff. They're going to West Virginia.
Right.
I hate West Virginia. I've been there.
Yeah, I drove through it once. I ain't never going back.
Yeah, and mountains and everything.
No
man.
disrespect. No disrespect.
Hopefully, I will see you guys on Saturday, but we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Hopefully.
If they win, there'll be a celebration show, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So that's what everyone's hoping for.
We'll see. Knock on wood.
What do you think the parade would be if we won Saturday?
I ain't
When
even
you
worried
think the
about
parade?
that. See, you always got to take it a step forward.
Yes.
I am not worried about no damn parade right now, man. I'm worried about Game 5.
I got to get there. That's why. So you live there. I don't live there anymore. So
that's true.
There.
You do.
I gotta get there. That's why I might go back.
I could get there quick, so I ain't gonna lie. All right, fellas. Peace.
Peace out, man.
Peace.
And shout out to David Smith, man. David Smith is really willing to die on that anti-Brunson hill. Cat and OG are the two best things. And the new power ranking, Jalen Brunson is the third. I mean,
I thought I was petty, but David is his pettiness is way above mine.
I mean, yeah, damn Jalen Brunson. He only scored 36 points. He's just terrible. He's just our third best player. Cat, part of Cat being in foul trouble that's part of him. That's part of his clumsiness as in terms of best players. Not just how he scores or he do that's part of being a best player. If you keep getting in foul trouble, man, something's wrong. Something's wrong with the IQ.
He's not that good. Guys just double him. They just double him all the time. I don't know why, because he's not that good. I don't know why they do that.
Jalen Brunson, right? Yeah, he's terrible. Hey, shout out to David Smith, aka Cat. And A-Train, shout out to A-Train, always rocking with us. Says, if Tibbs couldn't scheme it and Brown hasn't either, then bringing the ball up the court is clearly an Achilles heel for this personnel. Solid defensive teams will exploit that. I couldn't agree more. And we've known that all season, and actually not just all season this season, but throughout the many years that Brunson's been here, right?
Mm-hmm.
We saw it last season when the Pacers. I mean, that's pretty much how the Pacers won the series is by putting pressure on the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I think when they signed up Mikal Bridges, I believe the intention was for him to be like a secondary ball handler. But that just hasn't worked out. But I think that was the thought process with that, because he's a very good defensive wing. He can score, and they thought he could at least bring the ball up court. Not necessarily run the offense, but at least give Brunson a break in the backcourt. And that didn't work out last year either. That's why Tibbs didn't do it. And case in point, you see, instead of him bringing up the ball, you've seen Josh Hart doing the work, because they feel like Josh Hart and Mike Brown also the same thing. Josh Hart's been bringing up the ball more so than Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, that's another thing we missed. DiVincenzo, remember when he had him, he helped us out a lot with that.
Yeah,
I think Jose Alvarado's doing a nice job of it myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just that he doesn't get the minutes.
Well, but what I'm saying is that you have a solution that's proven that it works, at least in a short time. You know what I mean? For a quarter at least.
Yeah.
So, in other words, if you're having that issue again in game 5, you have a counter that you can go to pretty quickly off the bench is all I'm saying. Like, maybe it won't continue. Maybe he won't shoot well and it won't look the same. Who knows? But it's all about a cat and mouse game, right? It's all about what counters do you have to this and that. And so if the Knicks have a legitimate counter and they can bring that lineup back out on the floor, that means that the Spurs have to do something, right? They have to respond. They have to make a difference. And anytime that they counter your counter, that should open up something else. And so, it goes back to what we're talking about with Mike Brown. I think he's done a pretty good job with his counters throughout the playoffs and even in this series.
Yeah, but they're counting a lot of times on his habitual habits, and his habitual habits, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't bring Alvarado in most things. He'll bring in, like, you know what I mean, immediately replace him with, say, Shambit, and then Deuce, and then once things. Then all of a sudden was in a fix, and all of a sudden Alvarado's in, and then Brunson's off. So, you know what I mean? He's getting like 6-7 minutes a lot of times. And like we said, this was one of the times where we saw him and Brunson together, but it's rare that we see it. And to me, I've always still said that, the principles are still, I think you can pass better than you can dribble to a distance. So to me, I think it creates more of a scheme to at least begin to advance the ball up. And then these guys do a lot of weird stuff too at times. A lot of times I can see these guys get the ball out where they got clear up the court, and they'll throw it back to Brunson where a guy is already on him. I'm looking at them like, what are you doing? What are we doing? Like, they have to learn how to break some of those bad habits they have. Because if it's a clear court, just get the ball up past the half court. Then you can hand it back off to Brunson or whoever you want. But we got to get into our offense a lot faster.
But and the other thing I want to bring in, Geoff, I know you mentioned DiVincenzo. So the difference is obviously DiVincenzo is a shooting guard who can bring up the ball. You know what I'm saying? He's as opposed to Alvarado, who's really, I mean, he really is just a point guard. Not a great shooter, but he has his moments. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even this season, we've seen a game where Alvarado just went off for like 20 something points. Like he couldn't miss from three, you know? Oh, the queen is here. Shout out, salute the queen.
Oh man, you guys are killing it. I was listening to you guys on the way back. I almost just got into bed and just skip the show altogether.
Can't be doing that on us now. They came to see you, Queen. Now that you're here, the views will probably go up to 120.
Really.
We're keeping the seat warm for you.
Listen, I think I could take some more days off. Good job, guys. Good job.
Well, if we win this game on Saturday, you can take as much time as you want off. How about that, Queen?
Listen,
before Queen.
I was watching replays today, getting emotional off the replay. Just imagine if we win this Saturday. Forget it.
Yeah, same here, man. I watched the 14 minutes highlight they have on the NBA on the NBA YouTube channel. I was in there like I'm seeing the game for the first time.
Right. Because you see things that you didn't see the first time around. Like I heard you, Ajay, you're absolutely right. How disciplined Josh Hart was after those 3 brain farts, because he did foul Wemby as well and sent him to the line and he missed 2.
Yeah.
Like how disciplined he was on that last play. Like,
yeah,
because I think had he swiped down or did anything, it would have been a foul.
He literally just stood over him, and there was like he gave the refs no reason to even attempt to blow the whistle.
Right. Yeah.
And shout out to Cat who tipped that ball, because he was there, like Nick Nation said, he was out of position, but that extra little split second give him time to recover a little bit.
And I think the game was over. Like, once that tip, by the time it get, yeah.
That's right.
But I think
the clock should start with the tip, but I don't think the clock operator saw the tip.
Yeah, they didn't. And I'm glad it didn't go to replay, because it may not have. It may not have gone to replay. Had he got it and scored in time, I don't know if they would have replayed that.
Yeah, I think we would have took that L. And like I said earlier, I think it would have been that 2-minute report. Oh, yeah, he did tip it. Yeah, probably should. But sorry, game's over. That's what it would have been,
Can we discontinue the 2-minute report? I don't even care about that thing. Like,
yeah, right.
What was that? It's not changing anything. So what? Yeah, we know you messed up. You don't have to tell us. We watched the game too. We get it. Ajay, I think there's another super chat there.
Yeah, I want to do it before we get in. And shout out to Pat Stugger. Thank you for the $5 super chat. It says the Spurs collapses are caused by coming out every game on full blast defensively, physically causing their shooting legs to be spent by every fourth quarter. I don't disagree, and more so, and this is something we talked about before the series even started, right? These guys never played this much basketball in their lives. They never played this deep into they never played this many games. You know what I'm saying? So it may seem like it's not something, but I think it is something. You look at Wembanyama, he looked spent. He really looked exhausted.
42 minutes.
Yeah.
But he doesn't usually play those minutes. The coach was getting a lot of flack after the game for not sitting him and giving him some rest in the third quarter when they were up like over 20 points.
Yeah, he shortened the rotation.
Rest, we might have only been down 8 or 9 points to go. So I can kind of understand where he's coming from. Like, I think the idea in his mind is let's keep it up at 25, and then if it's garbage time, he can rest the last 6 minutes. I don't think he anticipated it crashing with Wemby in the game, which is what ended up happening. But
yeah, I hear you. He could have gave him a few spurts, though. I mean, I'm not complaining.
Because what's name didn't play at all, right?
Complaining.
Who's the power? Who's that? What's the power forward? The one from the Warriors. I got his name right now. Huh?
Barnes.
I don't think Barnes played at all, right?
No.
So he's shortening his rotation, and I think
Cornette didn't play. Cornette didn't play a lot of minutes.
No, they pretty much played 7 guys. I mean, they had Cornette got 2 or 3 minutes and somebody else got 3 or 4 minutes, but they pretty much played 7 guys.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
And they had a long series with Oklahoma City, and they had a long series with Minnesota before that. And we, you know, if you listen to Josh Hart, with that added up by the time we got to the Eastern Conference Finals a year ago, well, maybe they were suffering some of that themselves, but yet 2 days between games from here on out, I don't think that's going to be an issue moving forward. I mean, they should have plenty of rest in game 5, and then if it goes beyond that, I would think that won't be an issue anymore.
Yeah.
I wish I wish we were playing tomorrow so they could go on 2 days rest after Wemby played 43 minutes, whatever the hell he played.
Listen, I'm emotionally spent. I need time to recover myself.
I mean, if the next game is the championship, I don't know. Bring it on, man. I don't need any time. You know, Queen. I'm gonna ask you a question we asked earlier. I kind of know your answer, but who would you give the game ball to?
I would split it. I would split it between OG and Brunson. But I wouldn't argue with anybody who wanted to give it to OG by himself. I would not argue. He was amazing on both sides, on both sides of the floor. I will say this though, and I'm figuring out how to say this without taking anything away from OG. Right? I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I think Brunson is being overlooked because we're used to him playing a certain way. And we're expecting him to not only play that way, but to exceed that, even though he's playing against a team that has the perimeter defenders to at least slow him down. And he doesn't have that ball handler with him. And I think that, not taking anything away from OG, it's different when you're playing off of someone, right? And you're getting your shots off of someone than Cat or Brunson, who have to run the offense when it is run through Cat, and they have to be good decision makers themselves. So they have to create for themselves. They have to create for the team. They have to have good decision making. And the other players on the team, and again, I'm not taking anything away from them, they're playing off of those guys. So they have to hit their shots. Don't get me wrong, right? It's different. So I just think that people are very stat and performance heavy, and they're not looking at Cat and Brunson in that light, that they have more responsibility. That being said, I don't have any. I'm not arguing with anybody who wants to give OG the game ball. Not only was he 7 of 9 from 3, the energy that he put out on both sides of the ball, and he didn't even look like he was tired. He didn't even look like he was run down. Like, I was watching the play when he chased down Fox. He looked like somebody just put fire in his shorts, and the way he got down, like he just turned around and just like the Flintstones, and some people said it was a foul. I don't know if that was a foul. I mean, the way they've been calling things in this game, like foul,
That's not a foul. You got ball. You got ball.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a foul either. But I was listening to Shump. Whenever we win, I do my rounds. When we lose, I don't want to listen to nothing. I heard Shump say that he thought he was fouled.
He's the only one I heard say that, though. He's the only one I heard say that in all of the analysts. So
yeah.
But I can't even say Shump Hayden because I saw him in the mosh pit with his jersey on. He said he was supposed to do a show with Van Pelt yesterday, and he said, "Man, listen, we're gonna have to do this tomorrow."
He did tell him that. Yeah, because I was watching their show.
Yeah.
And they were like, Shump is supposed to. He's supposed to be here, but he's going to, hang out.
He's gone with the crowd. Like he's lost.
Yeah, he was out in the streets. Yeah, he was in the streets.
Yeah. But just to go back to OG, he has like really ascended in this late stage in his career, right? This doesn't usually happen to the point where, in my opinion, he's just an untouchable on the Knicks. And he may have lengthened the Knicks window, so it's not just based on, Brunson. If Brunson starts slowing down, I mean, he may have lengthened the window with the way he's playing. Now, as time goes on, he'll get more attention, and we'll see. I know Wiz was like, he think he can be a 1A. It's like being an assistant coach and then you move over to the head coach. It's you just sliding down one seat, but it's totally different. Playing off of somebody and being the player that's creating for yourself and creating for others. That's the next step for OG, but that's for next year. I'm just really excited about him.
You know what's refreshing, Queen? You remember when the playoffs were starting, and I was like, OG's gonna be our X factor, but I never imagined OG.
You did say
like
that.
Like, I mean, I know he was gonna, it was gonna, like, he was gonna tip the scale for us, but I didn't know, and he had a lot of huge games, in this playoff run.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to
yeah.
him on both ends too. Like defensive,
Oh my
he's done some
God.
crazy defensive plays, man. It's like,
Yeah, and they said Mike Brown told him, listen, I need you to be more active on the offensive boards. He still only had one, but it was a critical one, though. It was critical.
When you get that one, you don't need to have any more, Queen. If it's that one, then you're
that
good.
one was amazing.
Oh man! Salute Kerry Cox in the chat.
Absolutely, Kerry
but
Cox.
Queen, does Alvarado get a little mention? I know he's not getting a game ball, but does he get?
Listen.
Something?
Listen, Geoff and I, we went over this morning. Alvarado, 8 points. First of all, even before we get to him offensively, how physical he was with Wemby. I love that. And this wasn't just this game, the game before that as well. And he challenges him. Like he just goes in there and he finds a little space to lay it up, But that fourth quarter, he's like, he has ice in his veins. Like, me and Geoff was talking about this. I don't know if you guys go back and watch that fourth quarter, nobody wanted any part of the basketball. Brunson would pass it to them. It would barely get into their hands before they pass it right back to him. Like Dodge, like passing it back. I was like, wow. Hot potato. Alvarado.
I don't want that thing.
Alvarado, man, he went right up there with the layup. Then they doubled Brunson. First of all, why are you doubling Brunson? Most of the players on our team are not players that can create their own shot. Stay at home. Don't get in rotation. Whenever one of our guys get the ball, they're going to have to create. So they doubling Brunson. That's great for us because that opens up our other guys and what they do best. And they doubled him to Alvarado. Alvarado didn't even hesitate. He pulled like he's shooting 41% on the season. He pulled off of that. The confidence in him. And, I don't think, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. It wasn't like when he was in the game, he was handling the ball and Brunson was playing off ball. I think Brunson was still on the ball, but that release valve was there in the half court. And then once he gets it and it's 4-on-5, his ability to create and make the right pass just really opens things up for us. I thought he was phenomenal. So yeah, we can give him a slice of the ball. We might have to slice it up a little bit. We gotta give him a little piece of it.
Yes,
you can have
definitely honorable mention. Definitely honorable mention.
Facts. And shout out to Mike Brown he was searching. He was searching, man. He went through the whole lineup searching for somebody and came up with Alvarado, and he made it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely was. Alvarado had the bell on. He was like the double, you know, man. What's the
Yeah,
commercial
yeah,
when they did?
yeah,
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was like that yesterday for us. He was it.
Yeah. Can you imagine being from Brooklyn? You get traded to your home team. The year you get traded, they go to the finals. You're not even in the rotation. He drags you off the back of the bench, and then you come in and you
And you
drop 8
deliver.
points in the fourth
Critical,
quarter
critical
at
In the
home.
fourth quarter.
Critical
Oh my
points.
God. He,
Yeah. Movie.
he still didn't get the bag.
Rudy,
He's still up.
Rudy.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Mhm. Exactly. I want to be in the movie. I want to play somebody.
This is going to be a documentary. Like, this is a 30 for 30
That's
already.
definitely 30 for 30. That run
It's
is definitely
29 for 29 right now. We got one more to go.
Oh yeah. And this is New York. I can see them creating a play for us.
We'll have
Broadway.
Wemby the musical if they win this.
It's right down the block. It's right down the block from Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, good.
And
Yeah,
Nick,
just
shout out
sounds
to
good
Nick
for him.
Yak. We're talking about OG. Nick Yak said he wanted Siakam in that trade. Listen, I kind of like you remember when that
Didn't we
trade
have
happened?
Randall at the time though?
We did.
Yeah, we had Randall at the time. We had Randall at the time. But and then they traded Siakam to the Pacers. It's like, wait, Siakam was on the market and they didn't go for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was on the block and the Knicks didn't go for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, right
I
now
like
you looking
Siakam.
back. Yeah, I like him. But the OG, so OG's a beast, man. Like you see, like when he's attacking Wemby, he like bodies him out the way. Like literally just like
He
bodies
is
him out
fearless.
the way.
Like those other cats will run and scared. A bunch of those Knicks will not. Like Josh Hart will run scared. Bridges scared. OG's just like
He run
food.
towards.
Feed me. I'm gonna dunk it. I'm gonna shoot a 3-pointer over you. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't care if you're 9'11".
And you know what? When Brunson took that shot, he was double teamed. Had he threw it to OG would have hit the three. You cannot tell me he would
He
not
was
have
wide
knocked
open. He
down
was wide open. We
that
talked
three.
about that earlier too, Queen. He was wide open.
He was wide open. But you know what? When Brunson shot, and you see this a lot, you open, the person take the shot, and then you like put your head
He
down.
didn't.
He didn't do that. He ran right for the offensive rebound in the tip.
That was a play, man. That was
Yeah.
that was.
They always tell
right.
you that the inbouncer is the most. Whoever's inbounds
They left him
is the
wide.
most.
He was
Yeah. You don't. You don't. They always
wide
tell you he's the
open.
most dangerous person on the court is the inbouncer, because if you don't play off of him and what's names, people immediately don't pay attention to it anymore, and that's what happens.
But that is a great point too, Nick Nation, that Queen just made. Because usually, like, because he had his hands up for the ball,
right.
but when he didn't get it, most players would have been like, just that's it,
Yeah.
But he
they would
didn't.
have,
He
put their
chased it.
head down, like, oh man, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Ah,
It's still
Yeah.
unbelievable in ways.
And thank goodness that Brunson, I don't want to say Brunson got support, but thank goodness OG showed, because we're gonna need more support if we're gonna close out in San Antonio. We're gonna need a little more support, I think.
yeah, like Bridges. He fell off the face of the earth again. And Joshua's been having. I mean, Joshua, he did score a little bit yesterday, but he's not the impactful games that he be having. I mean, not even counting him trying to give the game away yesterday, but he's really hasn't had great games. Queen, I know we talked about that today, Queen. He blew the layup. He's not doing the rebounds. He's
Foul
But-
Wemby, put him to the line. He missed both of them. But you know what? The thing about it, when you're constructing a roster, and I always think about this, like, who are the people on our team that's going to be able to score even against the tough defenses? Like that, because when you get into like teams that defend like this, they can take certain players just out of a series, because those players just can't generate a shot against that type of defense. And if they're really good defenders and they're not getting you in rotation, you're not getting good looks, you're not getting free looks, it makes it really harder. So that's what makes what OG Anunoby is doing, like the little looks he's getting, like this little space that he's getting, he's knocking them down. These are not wide open shots like we're used to getting in the regular season, right? And the other players are not knocking down the little looks, the looks that they're getting. They're not wide open either, but he is. And that's what's separating him in these playoffs.
Yeah. I definitely want to give Karl Anthony Towns some more credit as well, too, because when my mind thinks back to a lot of this, they bring in Keldon Johnson? Or how do you say his name?
Keldon
Johnson. Keldon, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they bring Keldon Johnson in, this guy is literally, just watch, he is abusing Cat, and Cat can't get a call. To keep your head on something like that, you got to be good, because I would eventually start freaking out on the refs. Like, are you watching this? You get me for barely brushing a guy. You call early fouls on me. This guy comes in and if you guys just turn your head for a moment and just watch him, he's jumping all over Cat. These are fouls. It's off the ball, whatever it may be, but it is, he's climbing him. It's bad. He's 6'6", and he's climbing the guy. He is all over. And it's like, no call. So I just have to give him some extra credit, because I think I would have lost it by that point. How long can you keep your head,
I thought he almost did when Wemby fouled him those 3 times, as Steph said in that little push shot in the fourth.
How could that not be a foul, though?
I know, and he went after Wemby at that. Did you see though? After I watched that a couple times on replay. He actually he almost went at Wemby after that. There was no call or anything. Nobody said anything, but he went straight at Wemby, like, "Hey, what's the deal?" And Wemby is the 2-hand push king. Like, the Spurs do this a lot, not just him. Mm-hmm. They all do it, but they 2-hand push in the back a lot. And the other thing that I've been noticing is the jersey tug.
100%.
As we go along the series, we see those jerseys getting tugged a lot, like they're trying to do the laundry or something. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all part of the script, man. But I think the Knicks keep ruining the script.
They sure did last night.
Sure did last night.
If the league was wanting series tied at 2, they didn't just ruin the script. They burned it. They buried it. They dug it back up. They burned it again, and then they buried it again.
Listen, who put that meme in that AI generated video in the chat with David Silver came into the locker room really upset with the officials? That was them last night. He came there and gave it. What do you mean? You Knicks coming back 3-1? You should have called this. You should have called that.
Yeah. Because that the one with Tony? Yeah, because Tony Brothers was sitting in the locker room.
Tony Brothers, in the locker room. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, they went through the full cycle. Does that mean Saturday till we get Tony Brothers back?
No, we get. Well, I know we get. What's his name?
Oh no, we Saturday. Get it.
Scott Foster, I think it is.
We get Foster back because the first game was Scott Foster. How crazy is that, Queen? We lost 2 games by a point against the Hawks. We won 2 games by a point in the finals against the Spurs. This is definitely 30 for 30 material right there.
Yeah. This has been a fun ride. Stressful, but fun.
Well, David Smith says Knicks minus Jalen Brunson are so much better than the Spurs. Knicks just have to play right without Jalen Brunson.
You never know. The officials might do. That's what the officials might do next. They might, right in the beginning of the game, give him a couple of fouls right after what's name here, and take us out of rhythm again for the next game. Because this is.
Did in game 3. He picked up a couple cheapies and sat for a long time, and He had 4 fouls, and they Spurs went on a run when he did in the third quarter of Game 3. So, you know, it is what it is. Look, you got to read the book of Revelation, my guy. We got to be overcomers. You know what I'm saying? It's all about being overcomers in this life. We can't. You know, anything worth doing in this life is difficult, right? Anything worthwhile is difficult, and we got spoiled by the Hawks series, and we got spoiled by the Cavs series, by the Sixers series. Now it's down to the nitty gritty, and these games are tough and they're stressful, and they're, you know, I've lost 18 tons of hair and I only have one. I'm down to my last life. I've used my AED up. It doesn't have any more power. I've got to get a new one ordered. All of those things, but that's what this is about. That's what it takes to win a championship, and it takes a little bit of luck along the way. We've said it all year. Well, we got a little bit of fortune with the rebound, the nice bounce, the rebound, and OG taking advantage, right? And so let's you know, one more to go, the toughest one, but let's take advantage of the opportunity we've given, because it's crazy, because either team could have swept this series already, and it wouldn't have been a surprising result based on how they've played through 4 games, because the Spurs were up by a point with less than 2 minutes to go in each of the first 2 games, and the Knicks easily could have won Game 3, and the Spurs blew a big lead in Game 4. So all 4 games could have gone either way, and it could have been any result. And here we are sitting up 3-1. So
one more, just one.
Yeah, I love you guys, but I don't want to do a pregame show or any other kind of show for a Game 7. Period.
And there's, you know, we keep saying one more, but there's so much room for improvement, because we have a ton of guys who haven't performed in the series at all,
for good reason, though.
At least the last couple of games, you know.
I still keep expecting the Deuce game, right? You just expect him to have one of those games where he hasn't had one of those all playoffs, it feels like. Maybe the Philly series, but I want that game where he just comes off the bench and hits 4 threes, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know that it has to happen. I don't even know if he's going to get minutes after the way Alvarado has played. He may get to watch it from the bench, because Jose has been so good and provided something ancillary that Deuce can't. So it may not even be one of his series. But, you know, if I had my druthers, though, I'd like to see a game where Towns just takes over and just
I would love to see that, man,
and just has like 35 points and like 20 boards, and just shows everybody how good he really, really is, and how underrated he's been this entire playoffs. I mean, and this entire season, because remember, this is a guy who didn't make all NBA this year, not first, second, or third team. And that's insane to me when you look at his.
But I don't think it's insane because of how he was played. Because we weren't featuring Towns throughout the series. He was almost an afterthought. He was just getting what he can get, along the way. It took the Atlanta series for us to really start leaning into him. Now, if you think he should have got it based on the double doubles, I mean, that's fair.
I do. Yeah. That's the point that I'm making.
Yeah. Okay.
David is funny.
Oh, really? Is that true? Wemby only got 5 fouls so far in the series.
Wow.
Probably. Yeah, probably. They refuse to get that boy call. They don't do it. They don't do it.
Wow.
Wow.
I
think they think he's gonna pull out. I think because he's French, they think he's gonna pull out some gloves and smack them in the face with it. You challenge me. Challenge. Like, what are you doing? I don't know.
So about a foul a game. Wow.
Yeah.
And he's a very defensive minded player.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Wow.
A-Train, I'm with you. I leave it alone because I appreciate Geoff and the others on the panel. So I leave it alone, but I agree with you. I said it last year and I'll say it again. Knicks fans overhype Deuce because he's a likable guy. I think Deuce is solid. He's a solid player. But he's one of our own. So I think that's a part of it as well.
Homegrown for sure.
A-Train says
Homegrown for
this.
real.
Don't be surprised if the next Knicks starter in the refs crosshairs is OG. Man, that would be insane if they hit him with 2 quick fouls.
That's a great point, A-Train. I didn't think of. That is exactly
No,
what I wish you hadn't spoken that into existence, A-Train. They're watching the show, AJ. We're bugged.
No.
The league office knows.
I don't know if the league watches. I know the coaches. I know I definitely know the Knicks coaches watch this. They watch us. That they right now they all huddled up watching the show. But yeah, that can you imagine? Now we would know the fix is in if they do that. Could it'd be like, man, listen, you giving us too much trouble right now. We're gonna have to sit you down with a couple of fouls.
Yeah,
I hope that's not the case, man.
But if it happens, then McCall's got to step up again, and we've seen him do it.
Listen, Geoff, did you watch nobody wanted any part of the ball when that game got tight. Cat didn't even want it. Cat looked like he was playing handball. He was just nobody wanted any parts of the ball. So yeah, I guess before it gets tight, let's see what McCall's gonna do.
Listen, everybody was moving without the ball, but they were running away from it. They were moving without the ball, but they didn't want the ball. Like they was like, no, don't give it to me. I don't want that.
We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, so we have another couple of days to let this thing simmer to get to fully understand what happened, man. So what do you guys expect next couple of days?
Well, can I ask a question based on what you just said, Ajay? Do you guys think there'll be any psychological impact for San Antonio after blowing that lead, or do you think they can just flush it down the toilet and go on about their business like nothing happened? Or do you think that there's some kind of a hangover involved where it's just like, oh, we blew that game? Because they are young, but they have been unflappable. They won the last 2 games of the OKC series. Steph Castle says he expected them to win 4 straight. Now that they've lost, I'm sure he expects them to win 3 straight. What do you think their mindset and psyche is going into this game 5 at home?
Let me say something real quick. Because they're young, it definitely will affect them, but because they're young, I don't think it'll affect them to the point where, like it did Cleveland, for instance.
Cleveland put up no resistance, right?
I mean, listen, after that first game, Cleveland was done. Like James Harden was looking like where he's going on vacation. Like he was trying to set up the summer. He was done. But because they're young, I don't think they understand this. I don't think they realize. I don't think they realize like what that is to blow this such an historic choke job on their end.
Yeah.
But listen, everybody in the organization though, this coach, I don't know, I mean that's as a coach, you don't want that on your resume at all. You know what I'm saying? That kind of blown game. Yeah. But I think it'll affect them. I think they're human. In the back of their mind, it's gonna be like. But it could, one way it could affect them though. Let's say game 5, they killing us. I mean, they really gonna blow us out. Like they really gonna put their foot on the gas. If they're not tired, they're just gonna make sure that we don't have not even a ray of hope to try to come back.
Yeah, to answer Jeff's question, I think their arrogance has really cost them a lot of these games. I think their attitude and their arrogance. I think the air about them, they believe is, they're unbeatable, that they're the best. They believe what their coach is telling them. And to a degree, it's what you should kind of understand. But in the heart of hearts, that, hey, the results have not, that's where the results have come point. You're down 3-1, but you're still saying statements like, we've always had the lead. We've been the better team. We've been the better this. You've been the better this. And it hasn't reached to the point of the outcome. So to me is you need to humble yourself. You need to shut the hell up. You need to get off that nonsense where you're doing stuff like this. You need to get off that nonsense where you're constantly talking to to these players, because a lot of times I don't want to amp up or a player even more if you know what I mean, if you haven't secured the bag. What you're doing is just, you know what I mean, antagonizing guys for what? Because you haven't then come out with the results of it. And to me, this team, the way that they talk, the way that they move, you know what I mean? And if Wemby is there, point of the character of it, his arrogance as well, because you can see him even when he's sitting up there talking at the end. He's been anointed way too fast. He hasn't earned it. The league has been pampering him, and I'm pretty sure way before that, high school and before that, you know what I mean? I think he's been pampered for a long time in his life, and I think it shows. He hasn't, you know what I mean? To me, you get that arrogance when you win. When you win and you haven't won. Like even to me, LeBron James, which was an arrogant somewhat of it when he was young, but once he won that championship, that's when the air about him came. You know what I mean? The air of arrogance. And to me, these guys are walking in with air of arrogance like they're champions already. You haven't won nothing. Sit yourself down, humble yourself, and learn from your mistakes. And I don't think they learn. I think they continue to do the same thing, ripping and running with their mouth over and over again. And to me, sometimes why hype up the animal when you don't need to? So that's just my point on it.
Yeah. I don't disagree, man. They give him all this thing like he done something. He ain't doing nothing. He is an amazing player because for his height, usually when guys are this tall, they're clumsy. Like you remember Manute Bol, like they don't have that the ability to maneuver the way he does. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. So he's not only he's big, like he's tall, but then he has the ability to do certain things. Like he's dribbling, he's bringing the ball up the court, dribbling the ball between his legs and driving to the basket and doing stuff like that. I mean, big guys like him usually don't do that. You know, so listen, and somebody mentioned this on the chat, man. The Spurs are going to be winning a ton of championship after this. So listen, hopefully we get to squeeze ours in before they go and they run, before they start their damn dynasty, because you got to figure next season they can only get better, right? The young players are getting better, and I'm sure they're going to reinforce their roster. I don't expect, you expect them to get a power forward or maybe like another veteran leader instead of De'Aaron Fox. You expect certain things for them to do to improve their team, and they're already in the finals. So the next step for them is really a championship. Hopefully we get out all that.
To answer Jeff's question, I think Jeff, I don't think it's gonna impact how they start the game. I think, we may not like what they're saying, but they really believe it. And I think because they believe it, they're gonna come out confident, but I think if the game is tight down the stretch, I think the Knicks pull it out. I just don't think they're there yet in their late game execution. I think the confidence is there. Like, I don't think this is going to be a defeated team like Cleveland. I don't think so. But I think if the game is tight coming down the stretch, I think that's where we'll get them because their execution is just not there. Yeah.
Definitely agree.
Yep. There's one thing I want to talk about, and I was watching this show. Let me tell you, I made a note of it. So, Jalen Brunson, he is, and they call clutch points. I guess clutch points are the last. Is that the last 5 minutes of the game?
I believe
With
so.
the score within a certain threshold. I don't know what it is, but
Like within five. Within
five
five.
points. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So Brunson has 154 points. He's leading. The next two, SGA.
Are you trying to piss David off? Are you trying to piss him off?
And yeah, I know, right? So the next two are Shea Gilgeous-Alexander with 84 and Jokic with 69. So
But
he's the
number of
next two
games,
combined. Huh?
but Brunson has played more games though.
Not that many more games though, because we had a couple sweeps in there.
Between those two? I don't think so.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Did they have the number of games played, Ajay?
No, they just posted just the numbers.
Yeah, that's true. Brunson has we have
So he
we
has
have
more.
sweats.
He has more than the two, the SGA and Jokic combined. That's amazing.
Well, I know he leads in fourth quarter scoring. I think he's averaging 10 points per game in the fourth quarter in the playoffs or something like that, which is tops in the NBA.
David is. Mm.
I don't know. I wonder if you ask David Smith, if like is he okay with, like, would he want the Knicks to win if Brunson's the best player, or he'd rather the Knicks lose if it's gonna be Brunson's gonna be the best player?
He'd rather the Knicks win. He doesn't care.
With Brunson as best player?
I don't think he cares at all. I talked to David outside of this on Twitter sometime. He's a Knicks fan. He has his own opinion about how the team is, and he loves Towns, but he loves the Knicks. He wants the Knicks to win.
You couldn't tell. I wish he would bring whatever y'all talking about in Twitter, bring it into the chat.
Mm-hmm. He wants Brunson to play right. How right do you want him to play? Yesterday, like Queen mentioned, he was, nobody
his definition of right. He has his own definition of right that Brunson is not fitting into.
Yeah, because nobody wanted that smoke, man. It's like hot potato. You give it to Joshua, he gives you right back. Cat, he gives it right back. They were all the only two people who was willing to take shots was OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
And Mikal Bridges tried too, but he wasn't hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Mikal wasn't even in the game in the fourth quarter when the hot potato was going on.
Yeah. I mean, listen, game 5, man, somebody's got to step up, man. It can't just be those, OG and because they scheming against those two now. They in the lab trying to figure out how to stop them too. Somebody is going to have to step up.
Yeah,
I just don't think they have any answers for all three of them, though. I think they can guard 2 of the 3, and they can pick their poison. But one of them's going to be at least single coverage and an advantage in their matchup. It just has to be that way, just based upon the makeup of the Spurs roster. I don't have anybody off the bench who they can bring in who solves their issues. If they did, they would have done it already.
And you can argue that Cat hasn't been the Cat that we saw in the first 2 games because they changed up their coverage. So now they changed up their coverage to make it more difficult for Cat. And then, here's someone else, OG, rising to the occasion, to your point, teams can make it difficult for a player. And so you don't really get what you used to getting for them. But if your team is built right, like the Knicks are, it's just an opportunity for someone else.
Yep. Big shout out to us having 3 centers to be able to, put in there. So, and Hulk may not have paid a lot of minutes, but he put in some solid work when he came in. He didn't look shook. You know what I mean? He came in and he went to work. Got to appreciate a young guy like that. 12th man, you figure? 12th man, right? Coming off as a 12th man. Yeah. Team effort.
Amazing stuff, man.
East Blue Drew, I think if they try and shut down OG, if that's their defensive game plan, that's a win for the Knicks from Jump Street. Like if that's their focus is to limit Anunoby, that's a huge win for the Knicks because they can't do that and do what they want to do against Brunson and do what they want to do against Towns. And Brunson and Towns, as good as OG is, Brunson and Towns are at a whole other level in terms of their offensive bag compared to Anunoby. And I mean that at no disrespect. He's playing out of his mind. He's making shots, but he's an ancillary player. He's a guy who you need to get the ball to you need to set him up for the most part to get his shots going. So for me, if that's what they're going to do, I think they're much happier to show us what they did at the end of game 4 and say, well, yeah, we're going to leave OG open if he passes it to him for 3 and he makes it, even though he's literally shooting 7 of 9 over 70%, and his effective field goal percentage in the playoffs is, I think, one of the best in NBA history. So I mean,
they got to do something, though, Geoff. You think they're going to just leave? I mean, they'll probably give him a little more attention, maybe tell people to stay home on him a little more. But I agree, you can't. It's only about so much you're going to be able to do with this Knicks roster, unless they're on self-check, Geoff.
Yeah,
like
that's the only thing.
Like, you know, where okay,
100%.
They're gonna shut. You know, now other players get the opportunity, but then they don't come through.
Yeah, honestly, watching them, I don't think they have a player really that matches up with OG well at all. None of their players. The only one I could see, and they don't use him. We just talked about him because they don't use
Barnes,
him.
right?
Barnes.
Barnes.
I think Barnes might be, you know what I mean, is closest to a point of his size and strength wise. The others, he go right. He can go right through them.
Oh, I don't think
Castle's the closest that might be strong to what's names, but even Castle's too small.
Yep. Kerry Cox, come on, man, come on. Why are you messing with David Smith? Cat is simply a decoy who can pass it. Come on, man. David Smith, you see this thing, man?
Minimizing.
Cat is not a decoy, man. But he does have gravity though, so he definitely.
He always has.
Yeah.
That's why we have to get through this season. I'm super hyped about next season already because I feel like Mike Brown now sees Cat, like sees him, and you know we'll be able to start the season off with using him more. But again,
listen, man. After we get that one more win, we're gonna party, we're gonna celebrate, then we're gonna start thinking, how can we improve the team? It can be a fun summer. You got to figure it out.
3 picks.
It's June 11th, and we're still playing ball, folks.
Playing ball. Unbelievable.
That's the stuff right there. We waited a long time for this, guys. A long time.
Drew said he already has summer league. This one is in
come
the bag.
back to us, baby. We gotta get one more win, and then we got a lot of celebrate to do. Maybe he's like, I'm already in Vegas, but we.
Oh yeah, right. What is it? June 24th? Is it June 24th? Is when the draft? Is it the 24th or 22nd?
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere around it. What do you think about this? Shout out to Sherwin. He said, "Cat is a good passer, but you have to set him up also." I think he's both. I think he can finish and he can initiate.
Yeah.
Well, here's the reason I disagree with that is that you can give Cat the ball at the nail or at the top of the key, and especially if he's got a smaller player on him, which unless Wemby is guarding him, and if Wemby's guarding him, that's awesome because that means he's not in the paint. But if he's not, then he can see over the top to make plays with the pass. He can dribble drive to the goal if he needs to, although driving on Wemby is not necessarily, something that I would overly recommend as a steady diet. But yeah, I don't think I don't see the Towns as a decoy. I think that's very disrespectful to his skill set. He's a 50-40-84 player for his career. Like, that's not a decoy. That's the deadliest shooting center in the history of the game. So, I mean, to me, put some respect on that. Like, if you want to call him a decoy, I see him as so much more than that. And, I think it speaks to his unselfishness that he's, he doesn't have to be the center and focal point of the offense. He's going to do whatever it takes for this team to win, whether it's tipping the ball and making sure that they can't catch it at the last second, grabbing that key rebound. He does a little bit of everything, and he's, to me, he's an all NBA player. And there are only 15 of those in the league. So, if you want to put a couple of guys ahead of him, okay, I'm not going to argue against Joker or, whatever. But, he's been a rock for us. He does everything we ask him to do. He doesn't complain, and he's really the 1B to Brunson's 1A. I mean, I think that tandem works really, really well together, and I think we're seeing it in this playoff run.
But I think the question was to the panel, is he somebody that also has to be set up? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Nick, yeah.
Nah,
Nick
I
Nation?
don't think so. No, I don't think so. Not in that stance.
Actually, he's probably one of our most versatile offensive players because he can create for himself. He can do the catch and shoot, or pick and roll, pick and pop. He does the rebounding, the cleaning the glass. He's called a lot of different ways.
Well, there's a name they typically call guys like this, so that's why we can't give him the setup kind of thing. It doesn't fit the narrative. The narrative is that what Cat is what you call a 3-level scorer. So if he's a 3-level scorer, that's not what they. You don't get characterized as needing to be set up once you become that term 3-level scorer. Cat is a 3-level scorer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And in addition, because you'll have 3-level scorers, but they don't pass. Like they don't read and pass. And he can also read and read the defense and make passes as well. So Greg is steady trying to get rid of Brunson. They're not trading Brunson for Giannis.
I don't even think they're trading Cat.
I don't think they're trading Cat either. And as much as I would like to see a Cat Giannis pairing, I think OG at this point is just untouchable.
So you think his godfather, because isn't what's name his godfather? So you think his godfather's going to trade him for what? What's going on? What are we doing? Come on, stop it, y'all. Come on, stop it. You got jokes tonight.
Yeah, so that only leaves Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart and whatever else for trade, and that's just not enough to get Giannis. But what are we talking about here, man? We talk about trades. What are we doing? We got one more game to win the championship. Listen, this is Queen, and I said this yesterday. People keep saying 1999. Forget 1999, because in 99, I feel like we had no shot. We go against San Antonio with David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, like all the it's just
I don't think they had Ginobili and Parker yet, though. I think it was Avery Johnson. And
Avery Johnson. I'm sorry, Avery Johnson. Yeah. Wasn't Ginobili? Yeah. I thought Ginobili was in there.
Ginobili wasn't there yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. We went in with 6'5" and 6'6", were our two best players.
Well, Larry Johnson,
no real center.
They had Avery Johnson and there's another
he was hurt
guy.
too,
What was the other guard name?
The lockdown defender. What's his name?
Yeah.
Was he there yet?
No, it was.
I can see.
Was he there? He had a ball head, I believe.
Who are we talking about now? I'm sorry, I missed.
On San Antonio, the other guard. He was a small forward.
Oh,
not Ellis, not Elliott. I'm the other one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking Elliott. I'm thinking Elliott.
Ginobili was on the team.
I thought he was.
It was Antonio Daniels.
I thought
Tim
he had
Duncan.
hair.
No, Mario Ellie. Sean Elliott, Jaren Jackson,
Sean Elliott. That's what I was thinking
Steve
about.
Kerr, Jerome Kirsten.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
So they didn't
Sean
even
Elliott.
have. They have a 3-and-D guy,
Malik
but he
Rose,
must have joined them
Brandon
later.
Williams, Will Perdue.
He had Mario
Gerard
Ellie
King.
and Sean Elliott. Those are two guys I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance against that team.
Yeah, no. We were lucky to get the one. It was a gentleman's sweep, right?
Nah, it was a sweep.
I thought we won one.
Nah. We got swept.
Yeah, we did.
We got swept.
I don't think we won a game in that series.
My brain's going back wacky
Maybe
like
we-
that. I thought it was 4-1.
Well, they did win at MSG. Did we have home court advantage in that series? No, because we were the 8th
I'd have to look
seed,
it up
so-
again.
4-1. Somebody said
4-1. Yeah, it was
4-1.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I said. It was a gentleman's sweep.
It was gentleman's sweep
Yeah.
because they won in Game 5. They won
Because we made a big deal out of the one win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what it looks like today. Wait, did you go to the game in the Garden?
Who, me?
High stuff? Yeah.
No.
What was the Liberty?
Tonight,
was
the Liberty game?
playing?
No, they playing in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. 'Cause that's why I was getting confused. I was like, wait, because I was about to say, I know it's a hot mess out there today. A hot mess.
Bruce Bowen, old head. Yeah, he wasn't on that team, but he was their 3-and-D guy.
Oh yes, Bruce Bowen. Yes.
Yeah.
He was tough. He was tough. He was a tough defender. Bruce Bowen. I remember. Yeah, he was gritty.
Prototype.
He was definitely a gritty dude.
Guy. He and Robert.
Yeah, he was
Horry.
gritty. Yeah, he was gritty.
And I liked Antonio Daniels. I feel like we need an Antonio. Well, I mean, next season, but if we had an Antonio Daniels on this team type of player, Drew Holiday, Antonio Daniels type of player, man, we wouldn't have to Nick Nation point, Brunson bumping, bringing the ball down.
Did we have Kurt Thomas on that team? Kurt Thomas on our team at that time, right? I think he was.
Yeah. Kurt Thomas. Yes, Kurt Thomas was his name. Googly eyes.
Yeah.
Let me have the crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes. LJ, Spreewell, Al Houston.
Yeah. Was Camby on that team? I think Camby was on that team.
Camby was definitely on that team because I remember
he was our center.
He was our center because Patrick Ewing was out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I remember Camby had a monster series against Mutombo in Atlanta. Yeah, he had a great. I remember that ducking all over Mutombo's face.
Yeah.
He was a hell of a blocker, boy. That guy could block a shot. His timing was incredible.
Yeah,
he had great timing.
Old man Herb was on that team too. He wasn't doing much, but he was still there. Herb Williams.
Ben Davis was on that team.
Who?
What's Marcus Camby? Marcus Camby's got to be like 54. He's got to be like 54.
Ben Davis, power forward out of Kansas.
I don't remember
him. I don't remember Ben Davis.
Well, there was the Davis brothers. I remember on Indiana.
Play much. The end of the bench with David Wingate.
Oh, I remember. I was a huge Georgetown fan, so I do remember Wingate and Williams.
Oh yeah.
Ben Davis played in 8 games and averaged 2.6 minutes a game.
Oh yeah.
Just for you Nick trivia heads out there.
I think it's still the greatest game ever played in college was the Georgetown and Villanova, right? I think that was still the greatest game ever played, statistically wise. Both teams, I believe they shot like something. Villanova shot like 71%, and Georgetown shot 69% and took that L. I think it's one of the highest percentage games shooting wise. It was incredible. That was an incredible game.
They may be the same person. I've never seen them in the same room together, so it may be the same player. A-Train.
No, Greg, I'm a Brooklyn Knight. I'll be home Sunday. I'll be ready for that parade Monday. I'll be ready.
Listen to that.
The confidence.
Wait, do you think that's when it's going to be? Because that's what I was asking. Like, if we won Saturday, you think the parade would be Monday?
I think so. They do those parades really quick. Maybe Tuesday. I don't think it's going to be like the next week, like Friday.
They cannot do it too close to the weekend. Like they shouldn't.
I thought they would be bringing in the tanks, like, you know what I mean? Like, you would see like some real tanks coming in. Trying to.
I mean, the mayor has been you know, concerned, and he should be, because Knick fans, not all of us, out there wilding out. Like, relax, Knick
It's
fans,
it's
chasing
it's it's
Spur
actually
fans
it's
down the
actually very
street.
few of them.
I know
You see
it.
what
It
they did to the
is. It
bus?
is.
Very few of them wilding out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they
But
shut the
man,
bus down. They was
you look at
throwing at the
social media,
bus.
you think
Yeah,
it's
they
the
were wild.
party, but and it's not just the city. They have watch parties all over the place, man. And people just party and have a good time, having a good time.
Yeah.
But of course, on social media, you see the bad ones, and there are some bad ones.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah, but usually those parades happen really quick. Like, sometimes a team will win one day, like the next 2 days. It's the parade. So that's what I'm
I
I'm
think
thinking.
that
But
they
think about this: they'll already be out in the streets, probably from from the
Right,
watch
right,
parties.
right.
They may just fly in and have the
Facts.
parade like at 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. You never know.
Facts.
listen.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
if that happens? When it happens, it's just gonna be. I mean, they really should be expecting a lot of people. Like
Yeah, I don't know if the Canyon of Here. I've never been down there. I don't know if it's wide enough, man, for what's about to go down. The
yeah,
Knicks,
and
yeah, like,
it's gonna be like a New York shut down day. Like not just the city. I'm talking about Long Island. Like
and
all
then they
the
have it. Don't they go to a place to have the ceremony? Like, where are you gonna do that at?
Times Square.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking about
I don't
how
know.
I got to see some like the home video, like the phone video of some of the things on the game, some of the stuff that happened to
Cardiac Knicks. Jeff Cousin said, come on now, guys. The job isn't finished. Y'all talking about the
Amen.
parade, where the
Amen.
parade is gonna be, and it's not big
We're-
enough. He was like, nah, come
we're,
on
we're,
now. Bring it
we're
back.
Speaking,
Bring it
we're
back.
speaking it into existence. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm speaking into existence.
Speaking
Exactly.
it into existence.
But that
Yeah,
crowd
that's
was
good.
so loud at the end of that game 4. It was so loud. Like, Paycom, take a back seat. Oracle, take a back seat. That was the greatest crowd. Like, just to hear it in the background, it was like the building was shaking from watching it on someone's phone. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How
But
Yeah.
what's crazier is that the Knicks were down by 29 points, and the crowd, like everybody, stayed
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
game. I mean, that's celebrity row. I think the Garden has a policy with, like, if they gift you a ticket or whatever, one of the rules is you can't leave early. Like, you have to really stay the whole game. So it's like they kind of sort of do that to because a game like that, the whole front row would have been empty. You know what I'm saying? Taylor Swift ain't staying. Knicks getting blown out by 29 points.
Right.
But they kind of require that they stay. But the crowd, I'm talking about the people in the 1 and 2, one section and up, everybody stayed around, man. Even though the Knicks were down, they stuck with it.
But
Where
look
is
at
she
the
from?
celebrity.
Taylor Swift. Where's she from?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't think she was a New Yorker or anything
She's
like
not a
that.
New Yorker. She's from down south somewhere. She
She
was
Midwest, I
at
thought so.
she was at the Cavs game. Wasn't she supporting the Cavs or something?
she's been a Knick fan for a while. I don't
Oh,
know
really?
why. I don't know how that came about, but she's been
I
a
think
Knicks fan.
isn't she her fiance I think is a Cleveland fan.
Oh, that's probably
Oh
what it
yeah,
is,
it's,
'cause he was
Kelsey.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's but the Knick celebrity role for the Knicks, those are diehards. Like, those aren't like people that come there and like those guys are really into it. Did you see Mariska? I mean, they was
Yeah.
jumping all around. Like, that's a different type. Spike Lee,
Mm-hmm.
Tracy Morgan, like, those are diehard celebrity fans.
And John McEnroe and the whole
Johnny
Yeah.
Mac's always
Oh, yeah.
in there, man. He's so
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
what's
I
his
don't-
name? What's the guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm? What's his name?
Larry David.
Larry David. Larry David's a fan. Larry David's
Ben
a
Stiller and
Ben
I mean
Stiller.
Mhm.
Ben Stiller, he's in there all the time.
Yeah.
Timothy
Chris-
Chalamet. I mean,
what happened here? They forced Monica to apologize to her for saying she's a fake fan. I was listening to Sirius XM, and they were and I got in late, so I didn't understand what they were saying. You know, like Monica wasn't wrong, but can somebody tell me what happened?
I'm just
Come on,
here about
Monica McNutt.
Yeah, Monica
Yeah,
McNutt
yeah.
says, oh, she mentioned that Taylor Swift's in there. She says well, it was a hot mic moment. Like she didn't, she wasn't saying it in the mic. It just so happened that it picked up.
They
And
better
Oh,
leave
I
my
see.
crush alone.
she basically said, "What are you doing, girl? You're not even a Knicks fan. Get out of here!" Like something like that. Like it was.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
leave Monica alone. That's
Exactly.
She's awesome.
Leave
I love
her.
Monica McNutt. She's a
Not
terrific
touched.
announcer.
Monica
She's a
McNutt.
homer, but she's really knowledgeable from her WN. She knows the game. She's got terrific personality. I think she's one of the better ones, and I hope when Clyde retires someday, I hope she can fill into that spot because I think she's awesome. Just
I agree.
nobody asked me, but
Yeah.
I think she's pretty good.
She got my vote.
Yeah. Yeah. They got some. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick Nation.
No, I was just saying she got my vote, Monica McNutt. You know that. That's my crush. But then again, I'm probably old enough to be her daddy. How old is she?
Yeah.
If she's in
Maybe
her
even
30s, right?
granddaddy.
I guess. Yeah,
Oh,
right.
I'm reading this. Says,
Granddaddy. Hey, Dad, your grandfather. You Gramps.
Yeah, right.
Yo, this says
Yeah,
Taylor
sure.
Swift's from Pennsylvania. I did not know that. I did
Yeah. Nick Yak, well, you would have thought the Knicks won the championship looking at, all of the people on the floor. Like if you would just turned on the TV and you wasn't really keeping up with it, you would have been like, yo, they won. That's how that floor looked.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My middle son told me that. He said he was with my mother and he fell asleep. He said him and my mother both fell asleep because my mother, she's a Knicks fan, but she's also a Curry fan. So I've always asked her, which one would you take if they got to the championship? She's like, oh no, my Curry. I love the Knicks, but my Curry. I'm like, oh God, lady. But my middle son told me that.
His mama.
They fell asleep and he woke up he said he woke up right when OG was tipping the ball and he couldn't understand what was going on. And he was trying to ask my mother and they were like, so they had to rewatch some of it, to just see what was happening. He said he didn't have no clue. He said, because he fell asleep. He said he thought they was down by 20, whatever. He said he thought it was over. So he fell asleep. He gets up early too. So.
Yeah. Yep. Totally amazing.
All right.
Anything else, guys?
Nothing else for me.
Yeah, no,
It's amazing.
Hopefully see everyone Saturday.
Celebration. Listen, when the
Hopefully.
Knicks win that chip on San Antonio's floor in front of Becky Hammond, who may or may not, because she's with the Aces. She's with the Aces right now, so she may or may not be in the building. We will have a celebration show right after the game, so be sure to tune in.
Before we go, man, listen, that ABC crew, can they hide their hate, their dislike, their disdain for the Knicks?
Man.
They are.
It's
so
Tim Legler, right? Tim Legler, that's his name?
Tim Legler,
Really?
Oh, I hate him.
Charles
It's
Barkley,
not Reggie Miller, y'all. So I'm not gonna complain about it.
and actually Reggie wasn't bad at all.
I didn't think Reggie was bad either.
Reggie was not bad at all, but you look at the Shaq and
those guys
Oh,
always
right,
hate
right.
the Knicks.
But that's the halftime crew. You talk about the halftime crew or those that doing the
both
game
halftime crew and
those doing the game. Okay.
and those doing the game. And believe it or not, Richard Jefferson hasn't been bad. Can you believe this?
Yeah.
Like
He has
notorious
his
Knick
best
hater,
bad. That's
Richard
just a rule.
Jefferson
I'm
hasn't
sorry.
been terrible against the Knicks. But
Which
Legler,
is crazy because he played for the Spurs.
yeah, Legler and that halftime crew in post game, like they cannot hide.
Shaq hates the Knicks, and
You could tell, like, he's really unhappy.
They don't hide it though. They openly admit they hate the Knicks. I mean, it's just.
But I think Shaq has been giving the Knicks credit.
He
Lately.
has, but he and Draymond were yucking it up at halftime when we were down by 8 bajillion.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And,
They were
and
gloating.
then they were terribly upset at the end of the game.
Yeah,
when-
they were crestfallen when the game was over. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Crocodile tears, baby. Tastes so good.
Anyway,
Appreciate you guys.
all right,
Yeah. What time is
guys,
it?
it was fun.
It's 11.
Hit the
It's
like button on the way, huh?
11:37. Yeah.
Oh my
Whoa.
god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Hopefully,
Yes.
hopefully, we'll have another show on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
We
Replay
will.
game.
We will. Damn
Plenty
it.
of time left, gentlemen and ladies. Plenty of
Yeah.
There you
time
go.
left.
There you go.
No,
Jeff.
listen, Jeff, listen. When that negativity boils up in your soul, just try to hold it. Don't let it come out into the chat. Just try to hold it.
If I don't say it in the chat, we don't come back and win, Queen. I gotta play my role. Everybody's got a part to play. That's my part to play, man.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't-
I'm the
you can't
early.
rob
Yeah,
me of
because
my part
I'm the
to
early
play.
panicker. I panic early. 2 minutes in. This is bullshit. It's over. Are you kidding me? It's over.
Queen, actually, I couldn't find a way to upload the picture. I had a screenshot of the text I sent you guys. I wanted to brag about it a little bit, but I
Which
couldn't
one?
upload. When I said if we get this lead down to single digits, we will win the game. You know, and
Oh, yeah.
I think I
Mhm.
might be able to find it in
Mhm.
my
no, but I'm saying I actually took a screenshot, but I didn't know how to upload it. So I was gonna brag about it a little bit tonight, but I didn't.
upload it where into our chat.
No, right here to show. on the screen,
Oh,
to show the
here.
people.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh, okay.
like I kept
Okay.
faith, man. I kept faith, and I was like, listen, we will win this game.
You could just email it to
Said it.
yourself, right? And
I'll
then
be the first to admit you said it. You get your credit. You get your flowers.
Yeah.
yeah, no, just email it.
And,
Email it
and
to
then
yourself.
and then Jeff, they hit single digits before the 5 minutes mark. It was like 8 minutes. I was like, oh yeah, we definitely getting this one.
Yeah. And then when Josh
didn't
missed
think
that,
it was
I was
messed
like, that might have been our only chance. Like when he missed that
Yeah.
layup for us, because sometimes
Mm.
when you're making this massive comeback back, it's hard to get over the hump and go ahead.
Yes.
You know, and I was like, oh, that was our
That was the go
opportunity.
ahead.
That was our opportunity right there to go ahead. Thank
Yeah.
goodness we got another shot. And Brunson with the 3 over Wemby, which was an incredible shot. And then go ahead.
Queen, that's why he took that last shot, because he hit that one over Wemby. He literally tried to do the same thing again on that last possession.
Yeah. And
I think he
then
was a little bit further out on that last one.
A little
he
bit
was.
further
Yeah.
out.
And then him bodying up Castle, who was bodying him all series. He bodied up Castle. And I think that was the go ahead. You know, that put us ahead. The Brunson's shot over Castle. I was like, all right, okay. All right.
Yeah. I think we had our own bewitch in there. Dingle, dingle, ding. And that ball doop, and went in. That's what I think.
Alvarado had one of those too, right?
Yeah.
Went all the way
Dingle,
around.
Dingle, dingle, ding. I used to be able to do the nose, right? Dingle, dingle, ding. That was it. Oh, you do the arms too with Jeannie, right? She would do the arms.
He was like, it was. Yeah.
Man,
Right. Yeah, man. Just more content coming out tomorrow. Just loading up, getting ready for the game.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's championship eve.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know
so.
if my heart could take a game 6 at this point. We need to end this for my health. These games are stressful, man.
Yeah.
Listen, yesterday's game was shocking. Like that took a toll on your health. Yesterday's game,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you know, but thank God the end result was what we were looking for, as opposed to Queen, like you said, we make it all the way back and then we lose by a point.
Oh, I said, Lord.
She hadn't prayed since 1986. She was down on her knees. She said, "My God, my Lord, my God."
Let us have one. Let us have one. Don't let us go out like this. Don't let us go out like this.
Ooh.
And don't be cruel.
Ooh.
And we come all the way back and lose at the buzzer.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh God, I would have been crushed. Oh, I would have been crushed.
I'm like, we've gone through enough already, man. Yeah. Anyway.
This gives me hope that my Cowboys could possibly win. Ratings just dropped. Sorry.
You almost got dropped. No.
He's working his way off the program right there.
You see how y'all do me? You see how y'all do me? Haters. You haters.
You can't be saying the C word around here now.
Okay.
He's Blue Drew. That's funny.
Oh boy. All right. Replay gang, the silent listeners, the chat. Appreciate you. Nick Nation, Geoff, Ajay. You already know.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Peace
You
out.
taking us out, Ajay?
Yes, I am. I got you.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Oh, sister, it's time you
That's her.
shine.